Alright, how's it going, folks? Once I just edit the title, for some reason it keeps going with the one that I had when Suzaku first showed up. Because I didn't notice it until after the stream last Tuesday? They'd had that one on there, so I'm just trying to fix it real quick. I'm just trying to put a different title. And then we can start getting to some of the topics. I planned on streaming earlier, but like throughout the day, like I had like there was a point I had no energy, and then I had a headache, and I wasn't really sure what was going on. I just took some leave, and then I took a nap, and I was pretty good after like 2 hours. And then I woke up and just had to restart my computer. So now I'm, just getting this all set up. So we'll get to, obviously the conversations, the topics, chapters coming out. We got spoilers for, I think most things. I don't think there's anything really that hasn't had, at least something to add to the content of the week. Because for the most part, I assume everybody that shows up to my chat probably looks at the Black Clover spoilers and stuff. Here, I'll just save it like this. I'll take the and more out. I had a little bit longer of a title than I planned. But let me get to, let me just post the link on Twitter and stuff, and then I will get to the comments. I've got the goal. I've got the goal this week. I did good last week. I didn't get too far behind on the stream, on the chat. People that have shown up for my channel for a while know that sometimes I can keep up, sometimes I just get really distracted, and then I end up like an hour behind. And I just gotta be at least self-aware enough to know of when to like pay attention to the chat during my like pointless rant. Well, sometimes my rants are good, but most of the time it's usually just me like just talking about stuff at like strong intervals. But anyway, let me get to some of these comments. Let me get to the stream and the chat. How's it going, everyone that's here so far? Kenny boy, how's it going, man? How's my day going? Oh, it's going pretty good. Is it BAM or BOM? I only got to like 40 chapters into Tower of God, so I actually have no idea. I think it's BAM, right? Well, luckily I just gave that explanation that coincidentally went with that. But like, yeah, I don't know what happened. I just had like no energy. Like, I didn't feel sick or anything. It was just kind of a headache, and then I just was tired. And I think I just didn't sleep enough last night. Because usually I don't sleep a lot during the week, and Saturday is like my sleep day. I usually get like 8 to 9 hours on Saturday, but I only got like 6 and some change last night, so I just took a 2-hour nap, and I was good. Mashal is good. I do agree, Mashal's pretty solid. Was it not the last chapter, the one before that, when he beat that one dude's, like, goddess thing with a tennis racket? I like the more serious Mashal. Like, I get, like, there's different comedy aspects to it, but I want to get back to some of, like, the sick fight scenes. Like, they don't have to be hyper meat heavy, but I really like Mashal's combat spreads and just like seeing some of the really nice paneling that it has, because its paneling is definitely one of its best features. Like, I really like some of the odd angles and just like the times when I don't know the Mashal manga's name, but when he does like big double spreads, no text, and it's just there for the visual display of showing what's going on. Oh, I gotta make my picture a little bit bigger, I just noticed. There we go. Let me move over a little bit. Rip Financier, I'm not in the good mood. I don't understand that. Like, that, I really hope that they give some form of explanation. Like, there has to be something. I don't really understand, otherwise, what the point of axing Phantom Seer was. Because, like, apparently it already sold, like, 100,000 at 2 volumes. I don't know what exactly was. Somebody's saying, like, it was too horror-ish. But, I mean, like, Chainsaw Man is a thing. Jujutsu Kaisen's still going. Like, I don't get it. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen had a lot of really horrifying panels and stuff, but maybe it's just because, I don't know, because Phantom Seer is, like, the only difference is Phantom Seer has a lot more crisp art, whereas Jujutsu Kaisen has more of the rough art style. So I don't really see the logic in axing it. There has to be something behind the scenes. There had to have been something. What's up, Nur? How's it going, Javaldo Anderson? How are you guys doing today? Damn, less than an hour before Celtics game starts. I'm conflicted what to watch. Well, you can just watch until then. Go watch the game and then come back. Maybe like watch the rest later while you're doing something, or just keep it like on the side and like have the chat on the phone or something. I don't know. Let's see. Devil's Destroying Concept would be as hell. I want to wait until the I'm gonna wait for the officials. The thing that I talked about this to J Cloud, because, I mean, cool new feats and hacks, always a plus. One of the things I do like about Black Clover, I mean, like, I like the story, the character stuff, but I do like actually getting, like, some crazy fighting things, just because I obviously do like versus stuff. My only concern is, like, the limitations on it. It reminds me of when Glamour World got introduced, because when Glamour World got introduced, like, the Dorothy stans just thought there was no limits to what she could do. She could do anything. She could just make other people and have all their magic, all their abilities. Nothing can stop her. Obviously, that's not the case. The assumption that I have, and I was talking to J Cloud, and he had the assumption too, is that though that very good hacks, outright solid super hacks, but they should be able just to get overwhelmed with raw mana, because otherwise how are any higher ranking devils above them? And like, granted, they could have their own crazy hacks, so like, what would Lucifara with gravity do? It's like, what is he going to try and put weight on him? They just destroy that. Okay, he throws a black hole at him, they destroy that. Logically, if that was the case, but I think both it makes more sense if they can just get overwhelmed by raw mana amount, because, you know, that's something in Black Clover, and it's part of the fundamentals of how, like, mana and stuff work. And you look back at, like, Finral, when he was trying to open portals around the spirit elf fauna, when she was, you know, making Salamander go crazy, and he couldn't hold any of his portals, and they were like, barely able to get, like, the size of a dinner plate, and then he just couldn't maintain them at all. But also, they fundamentally are still magic, so they still fall under the basic rules at the core of it for the series, because otherwise Asta wouldn't be able to do anything. If it was like outright destroy concepts in full, Asta's anti-magic wouldn't matter. But obviously, like, he can still hurt them. It's kind of like how, regardless of how overpowered Acner Logia got, he still at the core level was a wizard, so he could get affected by face and motion sickness from being a Dragon Slayer, which makes sense canonically with the rulings and information we have. So, well, I just gotta wait to see that. I was only worried of, like, potential, like, not power scaling, but kind of more of, like, logical hierarchy in the series stuff. It was kind of like when again, Glamour World fans, like Dorothy stans, they would go crazy and it'd be like, well, Dorothy could beat anybody. It's like, do you think Dorothy... Because there were people that thought, like, Dorothy could beat Zagreus and stuff for a little bit. And I was like, do you think Dorothy could beat Prime Julius? And like, well, if she was serious... It was ridiculous. That's how I assume some people are going to get with the Devils, with Lilith and Nama. But luckily, I think that we have somewhat of a good enough ground, at least starting. Because otherwise, Nox's thing was really hacks, too. And they were able just to overwhelm his, destroy it. So I would assume that there is, like, a power level ruling that goes into effect, just automatic. Kind of like Bleach, because, like, there's that part in Bleach that's always, like, a very good staple moment for for kind of their power system is when Soifon got the 2 hits on Aizen, but because his Ryatsu is just so much more than hers that he could just overwhelm the ability. Anyway, let me get some comments. Let's see. Lewis JR, how's it going? I went on a small rant, because that's one thing that, like, I liked the chapter in general, but I was, like, thinking about that and it was bothering me, because I didn't want there to be anything that just didn't make sense just because it was cool. I don't like that. Like, even if it's hype, it's really badass. It'd be like if like, Hakune's saying, like, her diamond effect can make it so it's, like, no magic, no curses, no spiritual arts if it gets on you. It'd be like if dragons were only magic, they didn't have their own thing, and then it'd be like, well, then how does Selene beat Hakune? But obviously, like, ignoring that part, it'd be like, well, Selene should just be able to logically overwhelm her. But if that wasn't the case, it wouldn't make sense. And it'd be like, cool, Hakune, super broken. But I don't like it when things just make no logical sense in verse. And luckily, I think that Tabata's got it. Like, I'm sure he's got it all planned out. It still looks like it works fundamentally, like magic and the power system in Black Clover. And he's shown, like, time and time again, he plans stuff out. He doesn't just do stuff. It's only, like, stuff in the timeline of, like, stated dates that Tabata sometimes gets a little fumbly over. But that's not a big deal. Yeah, Phantom Seer ending is dumb. I mean, we talked about that for a minute. I don't understand it. If Lucy became a demon like Minerva and Tartarus, Natsu had to fight her, what do you think would have happened? Natsu would have just tried to defeat her and fix her. Like, Natsu's not going to try and put Lucy down. Like, we just saw Lucy as a yokai. Like, Natsu's not looking to kill her. What's up, Guillotine? How's it going? Latest Black Clover chapter puts demons above Tartarus demons. No. Destroying concepts. Margear was already doing that. Margear already did that. Like, that just puts their ability, like, the same kind of, like, level as Memento Mori. You're destroying the concepts. What does Memento Mori do? It completely destroys the concepts of life and death and erases something entirely from existence. It's just more existence erasure. I mean, the other ones, yeah. I mean, they scaled above the other demons just fine. Like, even before this, before hacks, they still were above Kyoka. They're still above Franmoth. They're still above Sayla and stuff. The only thing I'd wonder is if, like, because it still is magic fundamentally, would it work on things outside of magic? Because, like I said, if it was full concept destruction, then it would affect Asta's swords and stuff. Like, anti-magic wouldn't matter. It's just one of those things, is that, you know, oh no, probably, because, I don't know, because is Magicula above them? Maybe that would be, like, the case, like, description. Like, maybe Magicula could state something like that, and it would also make sense because of power levels. I don't know. That's something for the future. I'll put a bookmark on that. That's an interesting idea, because I assume Magicula is way above them. We don't know Magicula's full rank, but I would assume Magicula is pretty high up on the list. Read Build King 100%. 100% rebuild King. Build King, next chapter tomorrow. I can't wait to see Tonkachi's Vigor in action. I heard, this is just spoilers, I don't know if this is true. I haven't looked at any official leaks or panels or anything, but somebody said it was gold, which would be really cool, because that was one of the ideas I had. It was either black and white or gold and silver. And the gold and silver one, I think, makes sense, because like, if you look at Tonkachi's color design, his outfit is red and yellow. Combine them, you can get gold. And then Ranga's hair is like that silver color. So maybe that's what Shimabakuro is doing with this whole thing. It'll be really funny because, like, I thought the black was a thing, because in Toriko's hair was actually black, but because of one of his gourmet demons, his hair was blue. And there are some aspects about the power system and stuff that never really got expanded upon near the end because it got rushed, unfortunately. And I was like, well, maybe he's going to take that concept and then, like, move it over to Build King. You know, take some stuff that unfortunately didn't get built upon that he wanted, but he still had the idea. You know, don't want to waste a good idea. But, like, if he does that, and then, like, will Tonkachi's hair turn gold? Will be a Super Saiyan? Because I already said that he has, like, Kid Goku vibes to him. So it'd be really funny if, like, his power-up eventually, he's got the gold hair. Nindobara, Dead Man, or Hype is too much. Man, I'm waiting to find out what happened to her after Shibuya. I need to know. How's my day been? I mean, it was good for the most part. Like, I woke up, just kind of hung out. Unfortunately, I saw the Phantom Seer news. Wasn't happy about that. And then, like, just kind of got dressed, did a little bit of cleaning. I gotta do some more stuff, but like I said, somewhere around like 10, maybe like 9:30, 10. Like, I had no energy. Like, I could barely play some games. I just didn't know whether they have like the drive to do anything. So I had a headache, so I just took a nap, and then I'm good now. I was worried because I was like, I didn't want to cancel the stream because I'm trying to get back on for sure. Saturday streams regular, and then Tuesdays when 100 Years Quest comes out is my plan. Because I wanted to do more than one stream a week, but I think I couldn't figure out what day to do it. I think the Tuesdays is the easiest way to do it. Libe over Eyebrows. I don't know about that one, man. Unfortunately for Libe, he has got nothing but a loss on his win record, and he got beaten by one-armed no magic Asta, or no powers Asta, sorry. Well, I guess he's still technically no magic Asta, but no powers Asta. What's up, though, Gene? How is it doing, man? JK Network, how are you good? How are you guys doing today? Also, do you think Tabata is planning something with Lisita down the line? Do you think that he had her for Libe and Asta's past? I don't know why I said past. I mean, I assume it's just going to be past stuff. Like, it'd be really weird to do anything really with her in the future. Because she is dead, but it'd be like, why bring their mom back to do anything with you know, do anything with her in the story? It'd be really odd. He's like, would we make her a bad guy? Or, like, what would the purpose be of bringing her back? It's kind of like with Yuno's mom. It's like the whole group of people that think, like, Yuno's mom is still alive and she can come back. I mean, I get the idea of, like, her still being alive, but, like, the question remains, what would that do for the story? The only thing that I can think of is, like, if it would just make it so Yuno doesn't have to become charge of the spade. Quan 2 Network. Somebody do, like, a CalArts version of Quan. Nobara literally doesn't do anything after that fight in the anime. She's so That's unfortunately true. Well, she gets that short fight with Mahito, but it is actually kind of true. She doesn't get a lot of spotlight after this. Maybe they'll add stuff in the anime. I always thought, like, she doesn't have nearly as much presence, but I never really thought about there's the raw gap between, like, this fight with, Esso and Kechizu, and then all the way until stuff in Shibuya, which obviously is a lot. That's half the manga. How's it going, lovely Leech? How are you doing? Dark Bomb? Or, wait, Dark Lord Bomb. Oh, is it Bomb? Oh, it is Bomb. I read that, and I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, and then I forgot that I asked that question earlier. But yeah, thank you. Is Bomb? I thought it was just Bam. Literally can put Quan in anything. Quan's got a fancy name. Yo, Tax, how's it going? You're close. It's Rax, but it's doing good. Rax like we're getting some drill in the end. That's what I thought, because the thing about the first season has to cover, like, a good enough spot where it gets a hook. That's one of the reasons I didn't think Black Clover could be seasonal when it first came out. It's like, where would the first chunk end? You had to at least get through the cave arc, in my opinion. You had to get through the dungeon. You had to get through the capital invasion. We needed that Yami fight. So that's where, like, Black Clover started to really pick up fans for the anime. So I was happy about that in general. And then with Eden Zero, because Mishima takes his time starting. You look at early Fairy Tail, you look at early Rave Master, you look at early Eden Zero. You don't hit, like, a big stride chunk for each of them until, like, a little over the first year. Like, Eden Zero, like, the first arcs were good, but it's not until the Sun Jewel that it really picks up. For Fairy Tail, you got, like, the same thing, but for Phantom Lord. For Rave Master, I'd say, like, I can't remember like, if it has a name, but it's, like, that cave arc, with essentially where he fought, like, Shuda, and, you know, they had the Flying Fortress and stuff. I don't remember, where he got, I was just thinking, like, I don't think that part has a name, but, you know, where he got the first Wraith Stone, he got Sylpharia sword and stuff. Thoughts on Rebecca game outfits? They look good. I'm happy for it. I'm wondering how the game is going to fully look. Like, I don't expect it to be amazing just because anime games, usually the best ones are turn-based. Like, I don't know why they just don't make some more turn-based anime games, because those, hard to mess those up. You have so many characters, you unlock them, you don't have to have all the crazy 3D movement stuff. You just have a lot of characters to unlock with their abilities. You make it look nice. I mean, because that was one of the things I really liked about the Fairy Tail game. I thought they did really well. Was just the general design of it. Like that to me is like the best way for a lot of anime games. Let me see. Twin Star Exorcist. I gotta get caught up on it so bad. It's one of those ones I definitely gotta. I've had on the back burner. I got caught up to it when it was like 40 chapters in, and then I just lost track of it. Oh, thank you for the $5 super chat level each. It's not much. Oh, so it's alright. Any donations, like I said. Okay, I gotta wait for the audio.
You just busted a nut.
I might change that at some point. Well, actually, it's not that long. It's like a sentence. Like I said, because at the base root of it, when you start doing YouTube and stuff, like obviously, like people doing YouTube want to make money. I mean, that's one of the driving factors of it. But after I got, like, getting monetized and, like, the general ads money, even if YouTube keeps screwing people over with, like, the ad amount, it still is, like, the base amount. Anything additional, because that's where the general way of it getting paid is. Whereas any super chats or donations is purely, like I said, a donation. I don't mind if it's $1 or what. Any of it is appreciated. But anyway, thank you for $5. Says, I went on a weeb shopping spree. Oh, what'd you get? Did you get manga or any, like, cool figures or clothes? I really wanted to get a Fairy Tail hoodie, but, like, the one that I wanted to buy, I either have to wait for a bit different one, or because the one that I wanted to get, it said, like, women's hoodie when I realized, and I was like, I don't know if I want to get this, because that's one of those times, if I ever get it, somehow, if I'm wearing it, someone takes a picture, shows the ad, the whole line text of it in the on the order, and then I get caught in 4K. I don't need that. I'll just wait until I get one. Plus, I don't think it's official, and like when it comes to like non-official, like merchandise, hoodie, like clothes like that, you can easily get ass work and get like, secondhand. They're just bootlegging it to get the sales and shoddy work, or sometimes you get a good one. I bought a Yu-Gi-Oh hoodie not that long ago. It's actually really nice. But wanted to support something, keep up the good work. Thank you, I appreciate it. Always appreciate any donations, like I've said before. Let me see where I was. Wait, what? Hang on, somebody said they got... I'm glad they got rid of the Phantom Seer. Now Build King needs to be trashed when they can get actual good series. No, absolutely. First off, Phantom Seer was good. There's only one chunk of Phantom Seer I didn't really care for. It was the guy before, the little mini arc before this, because the bad guy was lame. He was that school doctor guy. He just wasn't interesting. Like, nothing about that guy was, like, very interesting to see. But I liked the current arc, and I like the art. I think the characters are cool. And it was selling well, so I don't really know why they did that. I don't really like saying, like, oh, I hope something gets axed, just because, like, these guys at the end of the day, like, they're making their series, like, they're with their own passions, their own ideas, and it's got to be a big deal for them to get into the magazine and be creating these things, creating their passions and stuff. Being, like, I would imagine, like, once you, even if you just get serialized, it feels like you made it. And, like, I just don't really, it really bothers me when people cheer on for something to get canceled, because it's like, you're trying to, it's like, think about the creators, like, they finally get in, and then, like, it gets canceled. It probably is just absolutely depressing and, like, soul-crushing. Granted, like, they should never let that get to them. They should try again, but at the same time, it's like, that must really suck. It's like, even the ones that get in and they get axed and come back, it's like a year plus until they get, like, another series in. Let me see. But, yeah, definitely not Build King 2. Build King's good, man. Build King has a little bit of a slow start, but it definitely picks up. Once they, I'd say, like, after, not even, like, after the, not even after Upside Down Castle. Once you get to Upside Down Castle, I think it really starts to pick up. Because you get a lot of really good character moments, a lot of really good just general art, and scenes, and world building. And then, like, the license exam right now has been really fun. Like, I've genuinely really enjoyed Build King since it came out. Can we stop the Shura slander? I didn't even know someone was slandering Shura. I like Shura as a bad guy. I mean, obviously, he's not a good individual. There's too many gag manga out there need to access. Well, how many gag manga are in Shonen Jump right now, other than that Roboco? But that Roboco one is just as references all over the place. So obviously, like, that's gonna do well for fans across the board, just to see, like, oh, what's gonna get brought up this week? For peeps calling him evil for killing, to be fair. Oh, he's definitely not a good guy. I mean, come on. He killed those two women, or those two girls, two women. Yeah. I'm trying to think of, like, the way that you say that, because it's a plural, but I'm saying two of the plural. I don't know, he killed those two girls. And then, like, not only did he kill them, but he acted like it was no big deal and treated them more like things when he did it. He's like, oh, I can just get another, I can get more, they're cheap. It's just like, yeah, do this. Definitely not a good look in general, even if they were prostitutes. It still doesn't mean murder them. It just means, like, they're in a sketchy business. But it definitely doesn't mean murder them. Sure is definitely not a good guy. Mashal author is Komodo, but only one panel leaked, and it looks sick. I saw the color page. It looks good. A Dark Lord, Build King. Oh yeah, no Build King slander, man. Build King is good. It has a slow start. Legitimately, once Smith shows up, especially, I think it really just picks good stride, because Smith has been cool. I've genuinely really liked him as a character. I was thinking, like, my favorites, because there's not a lot right now. Obviously, it's only 17 chapters in, and we didn't even really focus on a lot of other characters until Upside Down Castle. We got Cork and we got some Ringo moments. But, like, my favorite three are definitely Tonkachi, Smith, and Shizuka. I think Eliki's really cool. I like the sick corrosion building ninja. Like, he's badass. I have the feeling Goodwill is either a Galactor or Heavenly... No way. I mean, he's a big cat. That's not... I don't think so. Plus, if he was that powerful, like, he would have no problem. Especially if he was one of the Heavenly Knights. He would have no problem. He would walk through these guys. Let's see. Not at me. Not at me. Thought you were the same... wait. I thought you would have the same name. Are you talking about that other dude? Apparently, I've got a nemesis. Goodwill is Rebecca fanboy. I saw that, too. I'm wondering what exactly, like, this dude does, or if he's just a really big cat. Granted, he is a huge cat, so, I mean, like, he's got general strength and probably, like, cat nimbleness and speed. Sure, he'll probably have gravity moves that he doesn't have. I mean, yeah, he's definitely got to have his own moves. It'd be really weird if they had the same moveset. Like, I would assume just general stuff, but other than that, when Seki versus Morris, I actually would like the idea of Seki going to Morris. I don't know how he would get there is the problem. Like, if Seki tried to sneak and get glory by killing this scientist that was causing all these problems, it would be one of, like, it'd be surprising from the fact that Seki would be brave enough to do that, but it's a Seki move to kind of, like, try and cheat like that at the same time. But, like, I don't know how he would even get down there. Going in the castle in general is dangerous. You got Dark Disciples everywhere, which, are nothing to big people that are there, but, I mean, Seki's not a big person. And then you have Morris, who we don't know his magic yet, and he's devil-possessed, so it's like... Seki would die. I don't need that. Like, I know Seki's a very Seki's like a very half and half character. You either like him or you don't. I enjoy him. Like, he's not my favorite comedic person in Black Clover. My favorite is obviously Charmy. I mean, like, Charmy's got, like, the same setup as Seki, where both are comedic, but both have their serious sides to them. And obviously, I'm not going to pick Seki over Charmy. I mean, Charmy's way funnier, and Charmy's cooler. I get Lilith and Nam could overwhelmed by people who have more mana. Yeah, I think it would make sense like that, just because otherwise, what can anyone do to them? Lucy's great. She's so OP. She is super OP. She is easily middle to possibly higher end Spriggan. Like, people don't understand. S class for a Celestial Spirit Wizard starts at Angel, who could only summon 1 gold key, 1 silver key. Lucy was able to summon 2 gold keys in Grand Magic Games, so since then Lucy's been an S class level Celestial Spirit Wizard. When she got 3 gold keys, that was obviously a big tier jump, because Aquarius is like, oh, you should be able to summon the Celestial Spirit King. Obviously, that's a big jump up. Now she's... Oh, and on top of that, in Drasil, she had Stardress Mix. She could go into it, drop 1 spell, and then that would take, like, all of her power out. Like, for the most part. Not, like, down to 0, but definitely lower as enough that she's got to lead the form. She dropped Aquametria, 10 gold keys, 1 silver key, and Stardress Mix with a spell after that, like nothing. Like, Lucy is ridiculous right now. I can't wait to see the other people and see how absurdly strong they are. And any character coming later is going to, on top of that, just be so strong once they get to their advanced magic and stuff. I've been saying for a while I want Jalal to show up. And again, Celine, the hard wild card that Celine is, just from the fact that she, any character at any point in the series that's alive, she can just grab and pull over if she feels like it. She has the full capabilities, and the only people that can in any way contend with her are Ignia and Viernes, and she's not going to go grab them, and if she went to either of them, I'm sure she would be smart about it and not try and force them. So if she decided that she wanted to bring Jalal over, she could do it. But the thing about that whole idea, like, I was thinking more in, like, my theory that he will become a 5th gen Dragon Slayer due to events in the story, but outright, the Ellen tier boost would be so crazy on him. I really like that idea. Like, I am a fan of Jalal, so, like, if he got into Ellen tier, before even the idea of, like, if my 5th gen Dragon Slayer thing came to be, the boost he would get just from being there would be so absurd. He'd be dropping, like, comets and pulsars on people or something, like, obscene. Anyway, I think Happy is going to die in the Eden Zero War. Yeah, I think so, too. Never stopped the Seki crap, he's garbage. Yeah, like I said, Seki's a very half and half character. I never watched or read Bleach, Naruto, One Piece. I feel so lost to these things. Oh, you should. My favorite of them is definitely Bleach, but I would definitely say give him a look. I know there's the difficulty of like, looking at them from, like, the sheer volume that they have of each of his series. I mean, because not even counting Boruto, just going to mangas, Bleach is like 600 and something chapters. Naruto's like 700, and One Piece is over 1,000. So you have nearly 3,000 chapters between the 3 of them. Like, what is that, like 2,600? Pretty huge. But luckily they're out. Well, One Piece is still going, but One Piece is weekly, and almost said Tabata. Oda takes at least 1 week off, usually a month, so you can catch up if you just do a couple chunks every once in a while. Do, like, 20 to 30 chapters a week. You'll get caught up in no time. I think Eden Zero War have more potential than Fairy Tail War. I don't know. Like, Tartarus, man, Tartarus is such a good arc. I'm sure it'll be good, but, like, I don't know if the machine is going to top any Tartarus for him. The only thing right now that he's got that potentially could beat Tartarus for me is, like, the entirety of the 100 Years quest, because that's more of like a saga broke up into into different segments. I think the sheer level of volume that it's going to have, and the events and everything that's connected in it, might overtake it for me, but we'll see. Hopefully Lucy will keep the key gate opening. I think they're going to keep a lot of their skills because they're going to remember them. It'd be really weird if they just went back to how they were before. Like, even if they went back to terms of magic, they should still have the knowledge of all these different skills and abilities they picked up over here. So cool. I think he can use his power extend. He doesn't beat Ziggy. He said at least Horacio on Sace level. He should be 100%. Sure, if Shura is below the if Shura's even close to the oceans, I'd be upset. Like, he's got to be way above them. He's got to be up and coming, kind of like Galactica level, I would assume. I think a time skip will happen after the Eden's War. Yeah, I think so too. Nox new attacks based on mental more. No, it's like it's more like It's more like Genesis Zero. He's trapping you in a null space. You don't die. You essentially just get stuck somewhere forever in a pocket dimension. Sure, it seems to have a natural talent for gravity, Ether. I'm hyped for his overdrive. That I know. I can't wait for overdrives. Overdrives are like Bankais. They're like Dragon Force. They're like domain expansions. It's just like having this default power-up tier for a class is always cool, just from the fact that no matter what, certain characters are going to achieve that. Especially when it comes to power level areas, like certain characters should already have that. That's one of the, I love those in power level systems just because it's a default. This is something that they could have. Anytime a big character in Bleach, whether it was like, a Soul Reaper, okay, they could have Bankai, or Ankar, they could have, they're going to have their, with a Ankar, they're going to have the Resurrections, with even Zero Overdrives, Fairy Tail, like high-level dragons, they're going to have Dragon Force. Like, it's always going to align with these things, and I'm always hyped for it. Hope you had a good day, Rax. I mean, it was good for the most part. I was pretty happy when I woke up and I wasn't feeling, like, I felt normal. I didn't feel like all drained like I did before I took that nap. First, I didn't like Shura's haircut, but it grew on me. I like it. It looks a little weird just because it's got the shaved sides, but other than that, it's good. Do you think, what do you think of the fan theory? Indy's essence is like Megiku's curse. It takes life force and magic, the cursed person, but people can talk about it. I don't think so. Like, when it comes to E&D, like, what do you mean with, like, E&D's essence? Do you just mean, like, E&D in general? Jason, if you've been behaving without the Build King slander, if you keep it up, maybe by the next Fairy Tail chapter, I will make you a mod. You've been on probation. You've been on the right track, though. Let's see. Since gravity in Eden Zero goes beyond concepts, you think you have a gravity ability that's more broken than Dante's singularity? Oh, yes. It really just depends, because, like, making your pain and damage lighter and heavier is really good by itself, because, like, obviously, making your own pain lighter is going to make it easier for you to fight, but making somebody else's pain heavier is going to be just generally useful. But granted, like, pain, though, is more of a mental thing, because it doesn't seem like it, like, it heals. It would just be, you're in less pain. It's just not going to hurt as much. Whereas, like, if you can fight somebody and make any damage you do feel worse to them, it can really mess with their heads. The next chapter will be about Wendy. No, I think it'll be about Erza. I mean, it ended with Erza, so I would assume that's who it's going to kind of focus more on in the next chunk. Deku and help Mass Murder, Shiki boy. I'll beat you hard for what you did to my friends, and then I'll be your friend. Yeah, she's definitely cooler than Deku. The thing about Deku is, I get what Deku's saying, but I mean, like, Shigaraki is so far gone, there's nothing he can do. And on top of that, trying to help him is a huge risk to anybody around him. Like, think about this. If he does something, tries to do anything, and then fails, and then Shigaraki just goes on a rampage, think of all the lives that are going to be at risk just from him still being alive. How did it affect Lucy in regards to my prior question? Wait, what do you mean? Oh, do you mean, like, the connection to E&D? Or, I'm not 100% sure what you mean, Kenny, dude. I hope there's an ether grid that can switch other people's ether grid temporarily. That'd be kind of broken. That'd be like a weird broken. Like, it'd be so good situationally. Saw the Snyder Cut. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was good. I might watch it again soon. Maybe like this next weekend. Just because obviously it's 4 hours. Clearly going to be an Urza. Yeah, I think it's going to be an Urza chapter. Let's see, Ziggy, Shiki, Overdrive versus Dante. I mean, right now, Eden Zero doesn't have the speed feats, and they don't have the hacks to really deal with him. Ziggy has the raw power to fight Dante, but he doesn't have. They don't have any form of hacks enough to get rid of Dante. We gotta wait a little bit for that. I'm waiting for Black Sky. I finished watching the original Dragon Ball, looking back at Eden Zero. First part I can see here, take a lot of inspiration from it. So that's one of the things that it's funny, because like people will mention that, like, oh, Mishima's inspired by One Piece or something. But like Mishima's never mentioned One Piece. Like the two big shonens that he has talked about, he said obviously like he grew up when Dragon Ball was up, booming and stuff, and everybody watched Dragon Ball, so obviously that was one of them. And then the one that he said that would be the rival to Fairy Tail if he picked another manga to be a rival to it would be Naruto. He's never actually talked about One Piece. What do you mean? Wait, what do you do? I don't know what YD. What is WDYT? I don't know what the T means. Of the videos, Black Clover does everything better than My Hero. I mean, I definitely think they do most things better. The only thing that I would say, like, the only thing I'd say that, like, My Hero has is, like, certain small, like, well, not small, certain side characters, but I mean, really not anything, but it's mostly just Endeavor. And probably a primary villain, I'd say, because, like, I like Dante. I like Dante more than Shigaraki, but Shigaraki has way more content to his character, and Dante's life expectancy, I don't think, will be as long-lasting in the series as Shigaraki. So I would say that's one of the bigger things I would definitely give to My Hero, is they have a more set primary villain. Let's see. The new group, Jujutsu Kaisen, looks pretty good. Yuki, Yuta, Yuji, Megumi, Maki, and Choso. I'm still wondering if they're going to address anything about Choso. Like, the dude was killing people for no... Like, just to do it. Like, for their whole scheme on Satoru. So, I'm hoping somebody at least brings that up. Do you think Ziggy and his crew will go out the temple, ensure his fleet, wipe out half of them with Ethereon? Potentially. The Ethereon aspect of their ship is still a mystery and exactly of what, like, how it's going to be utilized. Maybe that'll be the thing, to destroy whatever big-ass ship they have. Because I assume that, like, Nero's got to have some mega primary starship or something. This about announcement is also confirming the movie. What's it going to be, what is going to be revealed after? I think they're just going to reveal, Black Clover isn't gone, it'll be on break. That's my guess. Maybe a teaser for the movie. Or that'd actually be really cool, too. Do you think Ziggy's actually stronger in the new form? Do you think it's just... it's got to be stronger. Maybe it's not like a power, like a raw ether kind of like stronger, but maybe it's just his physical body. Like, maybe he's more durable. Maybe he's like, his processing speed is faster or something. Maybe more of like at his base set of stats. Rex, do you think Mishima can rewrite the final season? He's not going to rewrite it. Oh, definitely not. Like, first off, the last season, like, that last chunk, like, it was mostly, I would say, some of the pacing issues, but, like, the Joss Whedon Justice League was not very good. Like, and after watching the Snyder Cut, most of the scenes that I liked in the original, not the original, the Joss Whedon version, were from Zack Snyder and not Joss Whedon, and the scenes that were not in the movie that I didn't like were from Joss Whedon's. So, like, massive gap in quality. Absurd gap. The thing, though, when it comes to Alvarez, is mostly just, like, the second half, some of the pacing issues. I think Mishima just had to rush some areas, but, I mean, like, it wasn't even close to as bad. I mean, Zeref's story is still a 10 out of 10. Like, Zeref is still, like, a perfect character. The only way that he could have really improved on, like, his masterclass character is had, like, crazier fights with him. But, he could just do that with flashbacks and stuff if he really wanted to. Maybe a Zeref spinoff. I think we'll eventually get Shiki and Shura versus Ziggy. That'd be pretty cool. It would really depend on, like, where Shura is after this arc. On Wraith Masterwork, he's called the Shuda arc. It can't be. That's a weird name for it. Like, that's just putting... That would be like if Sirius Side was called the Hades arc. I don't like that. First Ravestone arc. Let's just go with that. How many chapters are there for Rave Master? It's like 296, 297, I believe. So I remember the day when Fairy Tail had more chapters than I was like, oh, damn, that's crazy. Just because, like, Mishima, obviously, at that point, that had been his longest-running series. Leech with the one. Yeah, she's been a long-running supporter. I'm probably going to have to give her the mod. She has been very positive. I need to get her to start Build King. Whose redemption would you like more, Shuda's or Laxus? Oh, I mean, Laxus, come on, man. Shuda's was cool, but, like, Laxus was so much more emotional, and obviously, like, it stemmed from a way more, like, close-to-home part of the series. My Hero opening gets nominated for opening the year needs 0. I'm bad. The My Hero opening, I didn't really care for. Like, animation-wise, it was kind of, and then, like, the music itself is, like, I wish, like, it was more intense, but it felt like an anime-only arcs opening. Like, if you go and watch the openings for, like, Grand Magic Games, Sirius Island, Tartaros and stuff, and then you watch the anime arc ones, you could tell, like, just the sheer... It has, like, an attitude gap. Like, some of the anime-only ones they're still good, but it's, like, they just don't have the same hype vibes, and, like, the sound, the visuals, and, like, everything, essentially, with them. I think a Fairy Tail game should be good. They did. They made one not that long ago. It came out last year. Raxboy, if you were in Build King, what Vigor would you take? If I had to take a Vigor, so I would want at least 2. I'd want, like, red and orange, just because, like, red is, like, the general buffing one, and then and then orange is the heat one, so I could just, I could essentially be a Dragon Slayer. But it depends on how many colors I get, because we only, for the most part, know the basic 8, and then rainbow. And rainbow is kind of hacks just from the fact it's like, yeah, you can't guard against this. If it hits you, you're taking damage. But those would be, if I gotta pick 2, hey, villain dude, how many would you say in this scenario do I get? Just 1? Because if it's just 1, I might go with either red or orange. It's kind of like on the table. Probably red, just because like red is probably more generally useful. I mean, just raw strength is going to be super good. Like, as long as I don't run somebody with brown vigor, I'm probably solid. But who knows? New My Hero opening was average. Yeah, I didn't really care for it. How do you feel MMORPG set for it's a world you can create your own? I wish that so bad. I would love to create my own guild. I mean, like, that would take a long time to really kind of set up, though. Have you seen the Eden Zero color page? I have. It looks nice. Let's see. Not at me, not at me. Rax ain't trying to get caught in 4K. I am not. I think this war could end up with Elsie getting captured. Dude, if Elsie got captured, that'd be really interesting. I don't see her dying. She can't die. Like, if Elsie dies, which, again, I think it would be really cool. I like the idea of what happened with Sieg, and then Erza and Jalal end up together, and then in this one, one of them dies. And you already had stuff with Sieg, so it'd be the best way to do is kill off Elsie in this version. It has to have some big final battle between Justice and Elsie. Like, there's no other way, I think, that either anything should happen to their characters to an end, other than one of them has to kill each other. Have you seen the Wreck of Ragnarok? Dude, I did. I'm hyped. I'm super hyped. It was funny because I had to respond to one dude who was saying some of it looked a little stiff. But, like, a lot of the scenes I think he was talking about is, like, when characters are watching and spectating. Because I would assume doing the anime, you don't have to do a lot of movement for the characters that are in the stands. Because most of the time, like I said, they're standing around, they're sitting, they're spectating. They could save a lot of time and animation quality and just kind of do a fair amount on, like, again, the commentators. And then just focus on the fluidity of the fighters. Let's see. I would love that so much. I am hyped for that. That's going to be really cool. Should we get Mishima Heroes mini anime if Eden Zero does well? I hope so, dude. That'd be so cool. I'd love to see them all meet up and talk. Damn, fantasy are getting axed after Final Cut. Yeah, man, that sucks. Me and Roboko needs to go. I don't know if that one's going to get axed, man. People really like all the references in there, like from Japan's side. I would assume both from the other creators and fans of their series, just to see, like, a name drop or a scene. Like, I remember there was that scene where it was like, Second Gear Luffy launches a jet with jet pistol or something, and it's just like, okay, I see what they're doing. Clever on the manga's part, because they found a way to kind of like cheat their way into like probably not getting axed. Racked out, how am I doing? Oh, I'm doing good, Kenzie. Nice, comfortable Saturday. I might order a pizza because I was thinking about it, and then obviously I mentioned earlier like I wasn't feeling good. And when I woke up, I actually got an email. It was just like an ad from I think Domino's or Pizza Hut, and they're like, oh, feeling good for pizza? Well, I'm just like, maybe that's a sign I might have to order pizza. Because I made food earlier. I made like a patty melt, and I made some steak fries, and I only ate like half of it because, again, I just wasn't feeling it. I don't know what it was. But then I just took a nap, and then it was good. Well, and then I leave to get rid of the headache. But I'm in perfect good feels right now. I also think I feel like it was too hot. I think I left my heater on and stuff, so like, it was probably like 60, like high 60s, like 70 degrees. And I don't know. I think combining all these things just put me in a bad spot. I know. I just wanted to troll you because I know you like this series. Don't hate on Build King. That's good. You should definitely read it. Let me see. I was trying to click on stuff in Streamlabs, and then I was so confused for a second. It wasn't working. Like, oh, I got to go to the actual YouTube stuff. Let's see. There's a Hot Topic that had a large selection of merch. I got a bucket hat. What TBHK? I don't know what that is. And some earrings. I have to go back for the My Hero and Hunter x Hunter merch. Man, sometimes I gotta be careful when I see those like buy 2 shirts get one free. I just want to get stuff. The difficult thing is like most of the stuff when they have anime and stuff at places like Hot Topic, they have way more of like whatever's like big hot mainstream and stuff. A lot of like the bigger mainstream things. I'm not a fan. I'm not a big enough fan of My Hero to like get shirts and like I gotta like My Hero. Around the same areas I like One Piece. Like I don't like them enough to start buying merch, but I do enjoy them. Whereas like Black Clover, if I see Fairy Tail stuff in there, I see something from Berserk, I see Code Geass or something. Oh, I gotta buy it. Shonen Jump needs a new editor-in-chief. I really want to know what happened with canceling fans, or like why. What was the reason for that? Rex, do you think it's possible that we can get a Fairy Tail movie before Hundred's Quest or after? There's the possibility of that, because like there was the year between Alvarez and 100 Years Quest. So Celine or Mishima as female villain, who do you like more? I mean, Mishima has the totality of her character, whereas like Celine were like only a chunk of her heart. I mean, like if I have to pick, man, I'm gonna pick Celine just because I like Celine overall. Just from like everything that we've had with Celine, I've been a fan of. Like for one of the things, it just is the easiest way of going into it without just having much description is she made Edelus a better arc, because like Edelus itself Edelus is weird because it feels like an anime arc in the manga, but the fact that she was able to make it so it's like, oh, that arc happened because they didn't want to mess with her, directly improves the story of that, because it connects to more lore of like how essentially that arc's events like kind of just went around, and I thought that was pretty good in general. Let's see, I do really like Mishima though, but like man, Celine's the only female character I'd say for sure I would say like simp for. Simping is okay though if they're fictional. Don't simp for real people. Once your anime start, I hope Hero wins some kind of award. Oh, he's got to win something, dude. He's been busting out wins and 0 canceled series. Never had to be an assistant any other manga. Mishima's only got W's, man. Do you think Cher's gravity ability will come from spiritual presence force, like most powerful characters have? I don't know about that. Maybe it's like I really want to see like Cher in action, because like outside of like what Shiki can do, I don't really know what his difference in like abilities are gonna really be. Maybe it'll focus more on like raw weight or something. It reminds me of Toshiaki, creator of Siren. I don't know what happened with that either. I was bothered when I got caught up near the end of that, and then it got canceled. I stopped reading it because I don't want to get invested. I don't know why they canceled it. I don't know if maybe it just didn't do well. Like it happened at a point before I looked at stuff like sales and stuff, so I didn't really know why it happened. I just know it got axed. I had 2 series ideas, one involving Chinese Indian mythos mixture, and one setting inspired by post-Reconstruction U.S. South, with the baddies being obvious. And you've got some strange ideas. Build King is good. Check out Build King. John Cena for Smith, Build King live. Yes, for some reason after my Build King push, John Cena followed me. So I don't know what exactly that's about. I don't really care. I'm just gonna say it's because of my Build King hype. Guys, weekly reminder: Mira Jane slaps Gray. 100% not true. Mira Jane can't beat Gray is the thing. Like there's so many factors of why she couldn't really do anything to him. It'd be like, because like the whole argument comes from like Gray being like seemingly afraid of Mira Jane, but that's like when Natsu seems afraid of Erza. When in reality we know like Natsu versus Erza and all that fight, Natsu puts her in the dirt. Upside Castle is good in my opinion. I thought it was really good. The thing about Upside Castle that I really liked, for one, I mean just the art. I thought the world building aspects of it was enjoyable. You know, you found out so a little bit about the power system, so about 2x4. But I really liked Tonkachi's character moment when he was talking about like. The moment afterwards, I really liked his determination about like how he wanted to do his job and stuff. But like afterwards, when he was saying how like he really only looked at his ability to break and do stuff, like, do demolition as manual labor, and he saw what his brother could do as the important stuff. I thought that was actually really good, and it gave a lot of insight on how he thinks. And even though it doesn't seem like he has the best outlook on himself, but he has like a really good outlook on his brother. I thought that was really nice in general. I like how Renga and Tonkachi vibe with each other. It reminds me a lot of Yuno and Asta. So I mean that's a plus by itself. I'm really hyped for Eden Zero. Anime, I have a good feeling it's going to be very promising. Do you think animation studio the animation studio JC Staff? I think the only thing that I know they did off the top of my head is that Dragon Maid series. So look, I got some hype for it. I'm definitely looking forward to the anime. Do you think there could be a major character death in Eden Zero War, not counting a villain? Yeah, but I mean, like, the thing is, I don't want any of the main cast people. It would maybe some of it would have to be like one of the shining stars. But I mean, the one for sure stay away from is Hermit. We have to keep Hermit. And like either Witch or Sister, which is hard because I like both of them. But like I don't want anything bad to happen to Homura. I don't want to get rid of Wise, Jin, and Sylph. Maybe Laguna. I mean, if we count Laguna, I'll put him on there because I'm still suspect of Laguna. Laguna is super suspicious still. Let me see. Scarlett Johansson needs to play Erza for live action fairy tale. Man, I don't know if I want a live action fairy tale. Like, as much as I love fairy tale, it's a similar like how much I love Yu-Gi-Oh, but like I don't really know if I want to ever see live action versions of them because they would look strange. I only really ever want there to be live action versions of anime that would look fun live action. Like a live action Berserk would be great. You don't have a lot of those crazy anime looking characters, so it's gonna end up at least visually looking just outright fine. And then it would just come down to some of the crazier action stuff. No manga can be like Mishima. Literally, it's 3 long running series that did fairly well. The thing about Mishima is between Rave Master until the end of Fairy Tail, he took 0 breaks. Every single magazine for them came with something by Hiro Mishima for 20 years. The only series, the only time he wasn't doing one was when the magazine itself was on break. And on top of that, the dude would just do like double chapters all the time, put out 2 chapters at once, 35-page chapters back to back. Some of the weeks you do 3 chapters. Like, Mishima is crazy. How much did I miss? I've mostly just been talking. Yeah, Build King really picks up the tournament Satan Hills arc. I think when they get to the Upside Down Castle, it really starts to pick up. You start getting more world lore. You get some of where the character is. You really start to understand more about Tonkachi as a character. Renka starts getting stuff because like before that part when Tonkachi pretty much fixes the fixes the tooth, brings in the new dragon tooth. Renka really didn't have much in the whole manga until that point. I mean, that was only like 8 to 9 chapters. But like, other than that part in chapter 3, when he drove after his headband, like he had almost nothing really, just like a little tiny bits. And then he got that really cool time to shine when he was cutting up those logs and building the house and stuff. I'm hoping to get something before this exam is over with Satan Hills. Our first one. So Rex, Rave Master had the Demon Child, Fairy Tail had the Demon Creator, and Izuru has the Demon King. So what demon thing will be in Hiromishima's next Royal Fantasy series? Maybe like I actually would really like it if he did something with like an actual underworld, because like we had the wording with it with Tartaros, like they would talk about like the underworld and stuff with the gates opening, and then Rave Master we got to see a little bit of the of Makai and the world where all these monster people are from, but we didn't see a lot of it. I would love it if maybe like the underworld was a reoccurring thing in whatever Hiroshima's next thing is, or maybe we get some form of I'm trying to think what kind of cool thing, maybe like some form of demon anti, maybe like the Jalal of that series could be like demon based or something, kind of like some form of demon anti-hero. I don't really know. I assume he's gonna have him in there. Anybody who has that eye mark is gonna be reoccurring. I mean, mostly Jalal. I mean, Elsie's the only one outside of her. Mashal could beat Shiki. I don't know about that, man. Shiki's got better feats than Mash. Like, Mash has some solid feats, but like Shiki has way better feats in general. Let's see. I've discussed with some people who Fairy Tail and didn't like how Gray is always teased to be to do Ice Shell. I mean, Gray only tried to do Ice Shell realistically twice rather. He was going to do it against Deliora, and he was going to do it against when he was Leon related to Deliora, and then against Zeref, because when he was going to use it against Silver, that was a bluff. He's entirely doing that as a bluff. But the reasons he was going to do it against Deliora versus when he did it against when he was going to do it against Zeref really came down to his mindset of why he was exactly doing it. Like, he learned the reason why he shouldn't do it, obviously, with Deliora, like with stuff with Leon and Deliora, but with Zeref, he was trying to atone for his sins, and like the wrongdoings that he believed he could only fix if he sacrificed himself. And really, when you gotta think about the fact, there is almost 500 chapters between those two scenes. Because again, like I said, because at the first Miss Silver I can understand, but it's like really he's bluffing. He even like says like he knows he's not gonna do it. Like he learned before like why he wouldn't do that and stuff. I don't know. Hero could just retire for He already said he's gonna do a 4th series. He already has ideas for it. Maybe a demon god could be the... Nah, I mean, that's too plain. It's gotta be something cool, like just like a general twist. Maybe like an anti-hero, I think, or something, or maybe like a demon sorcerer. Like maybe have some form of like maybe like with. If he had, I assume he's gonna have another version, Seek Jalal Justice and stuff. Maybe make him way more of like a classical Merlin style wizard with he's got like a big staff and a cloak and whatnot. He could be like a demon wizard. That'd be pretty cool. I keep getting into arguments of people saying Lucy's weak. I mean, that's not true at all. The thing about Lucy is, Lucy, because her spirits are using her own magic power. The thing is, though, their strength is augmented off of Lucy. So, like, if they're stronger, it's because of Lucy. And on top of that, Lucy herself already broke the weakness of a celestial spirit wizard by not fighting like one and building up a high level of durability and resistances throughout the series. Like, Lucy is actually extremely durable because she decides to fight with her spirits and is taking beatings like every arc to where she's actually able to take some hits, which what we've seen with people like Nineheart, what happened to Karen, Angel, like otherwise summoners like Yukino, like summoners do not, like they're not used to getting hurt. Like a lot of the classic casters, that's like when you get characters who are way more hacks, their whole system style is not getting hit, their bodies aren't going to be trained to be as durable. That's one of the reasons also why Gray is different than a lot of the other Maker Wizards, someone like Rufus, because Rufus, one, his magic already is made to not get hit. On top of that, he has ways to not get hit by having his whole memories of himself. Let's see, Jalal would just spam Grand Chariot. I mean, this is go-to is the thing. I would like to see some new spells from him. I was really happy near the end of Alvarez that we got to see a couple new spells from in general when he jumped back from Logia. I want to see, like, I would really love to see a new, true, Heavenly Body spell. Or maybe something beyond that, like, just maybe a Jalal original. Jalal's one of my favorite characters, along with Zeref, Mavis, Juvia, Lucy, and Natsu. Mine too, 100%. Never a Build King is that good? It's a solid read. Like I said, Guillotine has a little bit of a slow start, but it's good. It's great world building. The art is really good. The main character I really like. He reminds me a lot of, like, Kid Goku, but he's got his own tone to him, but he just has a similar vibe. Oh, what's up, Telehim? I just saw your post, man. What's more evil? Hades with his wanting to be Wizard Hitler, Dante sacrificing humanity. I mean, I would definitely say Dante, because like Hades saw it as like the greater good of like something for magic and wizards and like in his idea of the true state of the world. So even if he was a bad guy, what he believed was the right thing, whereas Dante's just doing it because he's like bored and he thinks this is the way that he should do things. Since Lady Erza Belsarion said she can end infinity, does that mean she can beat Satoru Gojo? I mean, those are wording things. I like Erza versus him. I mean, the thing about Satoru that's very cool but unfortunate is if you can get past infinity, you can kill him. He's one of those characters. He's like Dante. Like who's another person off the top of my head? I mean, just the two of them easy. Because if you went up to slash him, he's just like, oh, I'm gonna just stand there and my infinity is gonna, block him and stuff. And it went right through. He's getting chopped in half. I would say for right now, like she has, like, it's such a weird fight because one, Satoru is not fast enough to keep up with Erza at all. Jujutsu Kaisen doesn't really have much for speed feats. He's got hacks, but he's slow as hell compared to Erza's. Like, whereas Erza doesn't really have a way currently to hit him. The only thing right now she's got is Nakagami armor, but like that just spells magic, not curse power. So I would definitely kind of hold that as like it's pretty much a never-ending draw between them, to be perfectly honest. You just have somebody who she can't kill versus a guy who can't hit her at all. Let's see. Lily picks up the tournament St. Hills. I say again, like once they get to the continent, like once they get to Upside Down Castle, I'd say it really starts to pick up. Really hate Rack's underrated. I really hate how underrated Rack is. I'm okay. I'm just your average dude. I feel like Nox could potentially fuse with all four devils. I hope so. Like, I mean, they would definitely be in the far future if he did anything crazy like that. I mean, like, what he just did was already limit-breaking for him. So, let's see. Tartarus surprised me, too. It was very well written. Tartarus is, like, my favorite, like, series arc, man. I love that. Don't know how much anymore his cat and his rooster, like, I'm so worried about that, man. I don't know, like, you gotta get the chapters through to see if they, like, regenerate or what. Honestly, I feel like Celine and Ignia would get along. They probably would. Like, I don't really know entirely. Like, Ignia, like, Celine seems like somebody who would get along with Ignia, but I don't know if Ignia would get along with Celine. He doesn't seem like that nice guy kind of thing. What type of upgrades will Gray get in Ellen tier? Gray's is a little difficult. Like, I can see Gray maybe getting something closer to, like, the True Wise Conway, or, like, what we just got with, Lilith, because Lilith's the ice one, messing with concepts, because Gray and Nansu have already done stuff like that, so maybe he just like that as a baseline of like an easy one to give him. It's like have that, but like be able to do it regularly. Or there maybe Gray will gain the ability to freeze time or something. That would be right, at least right now. would probably be his perfect counter to Hokune. Like, if Kune tried to use Diamond Effect and Grace, like, froze time, there you go. But we'll see. Grace is a little weird. Like, Natsu's is way more in his light, because Natsu could just be raw stronger. He already has his concept destroying fire, you know, infinite magic burning abilities and craziness to it. But, like, Gray's higher end level we don't entirely, like, have visually. Like, Natsu, we know Natsu's way further down the line form that we saw against Mercephobia, and then, like, beyond that becoming, you know, like a full demon dragon. But Gray's is a little bit more shaky. Like, his is probably the oddest one, I'd say, the Mangas, because, like, with Erza, I mean, Erza's can just be fusing her weapons and stuff, using her armors, gaining multiple effects at the same time. Because, like, you could have it as basic as Heaven's Wheel and Blackwing, and tons of swords that all are massively increased in damage. Like, that would be great. Maybe Nakagami could upgrade and, like, cut spiritual arts and curses. And bam, right there. That would be absurdly high of an upgrade. And she would be able to stay in it for a long time. Honestly, feel like Celine... Wait, I already read this one. What's good? We're talking about... I'm also just talking about whatever the chat brings up. I was talking about getting a pizza earlier. I still gotta start looking at that whatever deals they have. Cause I like the convenience of delivery. Sometimes those delivery fees really stack up. Like, I was gonna get some food earlier. It was like delivery if it's like free delivery if it's over like $15, and like I think I was planning to get like $20 for the stuff, but it was like $8 in like freaking fees. Like other than that, so like if I didn't get the free delivery, it'd be like $30. It'd be twice as much as the meal. I was like, that's what I hate about ordering food, man. Sometimes I just hate it. The price jump gets too ridiculous sometimes. Like, I understand convenience, but sometimes it's too much. Like, if it's double of what it is, no. Like, 50% more, I understand. Like, that's fine. But doubled is dumb. What's Asa's black orbs gonna do? I assume it'd be like those, it just shoots like maybe little anti-magic streams, like those little weird, almost lightning bolt looking things. Maybe just in general, like it would be like, just kind of like imagine like an automatic turret, but it would do it at magic, and it would just depend on like how potent it is, and like how wide of a field it has. It's a weird one because I don't really know where Tabata is like connecting the aspect of that to like the ideas of Libe and Asa and whatnot. It'll really depend. Maybe it'll be like where it'll be like spots for his swords. Like, what if he could take one sword out and then like have the sword just hover in one of those orb spots, and then just kind of like keep it on him so he just has it following him. That'd be kind of cool. Tempest Laser No's domain expansion for it was cool. I will forever love that scene. Ignibi, Natsumir, and Jalal. Oh, the same time massacres. The fanmade chat. I would love that. I want a massive group fight against Ignia like I wanted against August, where Ignia just absurdly puts people in the dirt. Let's see. Could Elentier Lucy beat Brandish? Now, I 100% think that she could take Brandish right now. Like, granted, like, Brandish, I can only imagine what Brandish would be like coming to Elentier, but, like, she doesn't have that perk. Whereas, like, Lucy right now, I do think would beat Brandish. Because she just have Gemini. She could just have Gemini turn into Brandish. She could just Gemini dress herself and have Brandish's abilities. And she would know how Brandish fights. She'd know her entire moveset. Let's see, training, learning, getting a power source, like a Lacrima Crystal, going to Whirl. Wait, that's not me. Let's see. That's not my account, Sir Tusk. That's somebody else. I have no idea who Rax the villain is. Elentier Lucy can beat Branch. It's even more confusing is there's a Rax the anti-hero, too. He was here in the last stream. Yeah, the current Lucy would definitely take her. Natsu, age 32, all possible power. Wait, all possible power-ups on here was Julius? Wait, what? Age 32? I don't know what age 32 is. Natsu right now can beat Julius no problem. Julius throws a thing at him, it gets burnt. Throws a spell at him, gets burnt. Tries to lock him in Chronostasis, not going to work. It doesn't work on Natsu. Like, he was fighting against full time stop. What is Chronostasis going to do? Julius isn't doing nothing to Natsu. This is going to hand the last chapter, like, he's just summoning. Her summoning is crazy, 100%. Natsu at this point would be Julius. Yeah, Julius can't do anything against Natsu at all. And Natsu hasn't even shown his Elentier advanced magic. That's the crazy thing right now. Like, Natsu is already so strong, we don't even know what his advanced magic is. We have no idea what kind of crazy things he has on top of her. And, like, seeing, like, where they were at before when Lucy could just had, like, the key upgrade, not needing her keys, and they could automatically summon her stuff. That already was like, oh, cool, like, the other characters are going to get something crazy. The jump that Lucy got, if they get that too, is going to be wild. And especially, like, if any of them start getting spiritual arts on top of that, it's going to be great. Like, they're going to be so OP by the end of this. Like, it's going to be wild. I can't wait for it. Makes me wish that this was weekly, not bi-weekly right now. Like, before this, I was, as much as I obviously prefer weekly, the bi-weekly thing was never that much of a problem, but, like, I can be impatient as hell, and I'm super impatient right now on seeing all their advanced magics. I'm hoping so bad in the next chapter we see Erza's. I'll be upset if we don't see Erza's. Well, not from, like, the story point. Like, it's not a problem she doesn't do it, just because, like, right now, what we saw from Lucy is it's not like the knowledge of how to use it pops up in their head. Like, Lucy Lucy only found out about what happened to her keys because her celestial spirits told her, because one of the things about it is obviously they can summon themselves and inform of, you know, them of her of why. Whereas, like, the other characters have to figure it out themselves. We'll see. I would assume, like, if they started to really try and flex their magic, they might be able to figure it out just by occurrence. But, you know, that's something just to wait on. Let's see. Which Ransumatsu do you think Suzaku's fighting pairing as well? I mean, like, the obvious one that people probably go for is Erza. I'm actually really hoping that Sting and Rogue get brought into this arc and Sting and Rogue fight him. I don't know. Because he's an odd one. The other character I would definitely pick would be Laxus, if Laxus ends up getting brought into this too. Because I assume right now Suzaku is around Laxus's level. There's from that, like, good chunk above, you know, obviously Laxus was above Kiria. And we know that Suzaku is above, you know, the main three members of Diablos. So a good chunk above them, I would assume, is somewhere around Laxus's level. Maybe like on par with Erza. Maybe Laxus is like a smidgen stronger, but we'll see. Let's see. How is Nacht's attack different from Memento Mori? It literally describes the same. Yeah, it's different from the standpoint of how it works. Because Memento Mori voids. It completely destroys the concepts of life and death and erases you from existence. Whereas what Nacht is doing is he's messing with those too, but he's trapping them in a space. Because he says that he's going to pretty much play this eternal game of tag with them forever, and he's going with them. He's going to trap them in there. So it's more of like Genesis Zero. Because it's not destroying you, but it's going to leave you somewhere where you can't escape. Whereas Memento Mori is just like, yeah, you're gone. If you get Memento Mori and you don't guard against it, you're gone. You're erased. It really just comes down to, like, it's similar description, different outputs, rather, is the best way to kind of go about it. Oh wait, do you think, in a team-up way, I am still hoping that Suzaku joins them. Rexy, Phil, Lilith, and Nama having conceptual hacks. I'm fine with it. I really just want to, like I talked about this earlier, I just really am hoping that Tabata has it stated of, you know, how any of the devils above them could, you know, overcome that. I personally think, like, just a raw mana amount could overwhelm it. Like I mentioned, similar to how Langris couldn't use his portals around, you know, spirit, salamander spirit, crazy third eye fauna, just how it was too much and it was messing with his mana in general. So I would assume devils higher than Lilith and Nama, their hacks could just raw energy amount overwhelm Lilith and Nama. Similar to how what Lilith and Nama did to Nacht. Because otherwise, how could Lucifaro beat them at all? But at the base root of it, it would still make sense because it's still magic. Because otherwise, anti-magic wouldn't affect it. Like, anti-magic wouldn't affect it if it was outright concepts are irrelevant. Because then it would get rid of the concept of magic and the concept of anti-magic. I'm really looking forward to the officials tomorrow. I assume they're going to say pretty much the same thing, but I'm hoping it's described a little bit better. Or maybe we could have Nacht kind of give some more feedback on it. Otherwise, we might have to wait a couple chapters to get like more detail onto kind of the situation. I'm always a fan of when you get crazy new hacks and abilities and stuff, but I do at the same time don't want it to break hierarchy logic in the series. But I'm sure Tabata already has it planned out. I don't think he would say, I'm going to have these guys mess with concepts and not have like a way that it makes sense that, they're the lowest devils in the tree and somehow they would otherwise be able to beat any of the other devils. But it makes more sense if these devils could, higher devils could just overwhelm them. With 40 people in stream, we're at 35 now. Pretty solid. Got 20 likes. Appreciate everyone, being in here. And just because I saw Nice Guy Jean's comment, I can just do a quick shill of, if you're here, really appreciate if you're not subscribed yet. If you could subscribe, thumbs up the stream. Befriend that like button, subscribe button. And any donations that people decide to throw my way are appreciated. There are, at the end of it, donations. None of it is required, but it is appreciated, like I said. Let me see. Oh, I clicked on the wrong window. Let me see. Oh yeah, I read this one. In terms of story, One Piece, Naruto. Oh, hell no. I definitely would not say One Piece about all these other ones. I like Fairy Tail story more than One Piece's. One Piece has really good world building, but like, it gets too slow, and there's way too many large characters that just do nothing. And on top of that, some of the aspects of the story I'm not a fan of. Like, I really don't like the Odin flashback. Like, he is not smart. But he's not smart in a plot line that it's dumb that he was put in a situation like that and is that dumb. I'm not a big fan of One Piece's story. I do like its world building a lot. In these essence, I meant his anger, malice, hatred, pure fiery rage, power. I mean, what do you mean though? It's going from the book going into a person after rewritten. Oh, it's like an aspect of him. It's a side to him. It's just that it's more of like his base programming. It'd be like if Natsu, like everything that makes Natsu just got kind of nulled out, and you get down to just like the raw structure of what an Aetherius demon is. Do you think it could work as a curse? I don't think it'll be like a curse. I personally think that whatever E&D's ability has to somehow do with what happened with Zeref and Mercephobia, because Mercephobia, he somehow has no magic anymore. So it either has to do with that big tablet that Elysaria has, or it has something to do with Natsu. Because what those two have in common is Natsu burnt out very hard. He burnt out a magic supply that was infinite. He burnt Mercephobia's magic to nothing, apparently. And the weird thing about that is, like, he was a dragon by birth. Dragons are born with their own powers and stuff, but they also can use magic. But I mean, like, he's somehow stuck in his human form. So like, I think it has to have either something to do with whatever E&D does, or something to do with Elysaria. And one of the reasons I think Elysaria is super sus. 100 Years Quest doesn't surpass Tartarus. Grand Games. That would be like crazy if it doesn't. I mean, it's definitely gonna surpass Grand Games and Serious Island, but I mean, like, it's Tartaros. It's like its competition, because Tartaros has so many big events, and like every character, everyone in the main cast gets a spotlight. They all get extremely big emotional series that define their characters and stuff. Like, Tartaros has so many massive moments that are just so good. I mean, like, and the villains too are really. Martyr is still like seen as like one of Fairy Tail's best villains, and he was only in it for like 30 chapters. Like, he was in half of the arc that he was the main antagonist of. Like, he is extremely popular. Ardoris, Tower of Heaven, Tenor, Grindwich against Phantom Lord, the rest, Edelus. Edelus is probably my least favorite canon arc. Whereas, manga canon. Like, the anime canon arcs, I definitely put below Edelus. Oh, thank you for the $5 super chat, Faith. What's it going to take for you to voice a character for White Clover?
He's busted a nut.
Man, I don't want to do any of that. I don't even know who I'd want to do, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to do any parody stuff, man. I don't think I'm much of a voice actor myself. I don't know, man. I've thought about it, because I know you wanted me to, but at the same time, like, I don't really know if I want to do that. Can I just do somebody that yells? Can I just yell into my mic? I was going to do it for a second. I'm like, yeah, I'll probably piss some people off if I just start yelling into my mic and break their ears. Who do you think is more unfair, Patri or Jalal when he was evil? I mean, Jalal's was more of a problem, because, like, with Patri, the thing about Patri you have to keep in mind is, from his perspective, he was doing a good thing, because, like, from his side, humans, like, you know, completely different species, a different race, he thought massacred his people, and he was doing what would be like a heroic thing for his people. Like, if you switched the sides, it'd be probably easier to understand, because obviously we're humans. But if it was like he was, betrayed by the elves and he was trying to do something to save the humans and whatnot, it would be, seen as more heroic. So you have to look at it from their side and their perspective. Whereas Jalal's was in his mind led to a greater world and a greater good, but I mean his was absolutely evil. I don't know, Faith. I'm not a voice actor. Like, who am I supposed to voice act? I don't know if I want to do that as a thing. Can you just like take voice clips from my streams and just input it into like a character? Maybe like actually have just some background character that's somehow always voiced by me of random things I say in streams. Let's see. Honeyurus has already surpassed Grand Magic Games. Definitely hasn't surpassed Tartaros. I can see it surpassing Grand Magic Games. Definitely not Tartaros. Has anime ever made you guys cry? Man, I'm telling you guys right now. So Faith has said that. Like he's made that statement of like you really like something and make you cry. That's legit. If you just think of a backstory, it gets you emotional. Like you're very attached to that series. I get misty eyed if I'm just doing something and I think of just like the scenes or like what happened. I start to get teared up. I gotta bring my brain away from that. Some of those scenes, like I said, if I did Tartarus when it was airing, like if I was doing if I was either doing the manga or if I was like a reaction guy watching the episodes, people would see me get super emotional. It's been years and it still hits me. Yeah, I wouldn't say 100 Years Quest has surpassed Tartarus yet. Like, it has the potential. The thing right now is, like, the thing that Tartarus has is Tartarus, like I said, has massive, impactful, very, very heavy character moments for each of them. Like, we've gotten stuff with Gray, and we've gotten stuff set up for a lot of characters, like, stuff with Jalal and Erza. We've got stuff with Natsu, stuff with Lucy. Wendy's got her stuff going on with Irene. There's a lot of stuff that has been established and being worked on, whereas like Tartaros just has some of the biggest moments for the characters in the whole series. What do you think that Viernes and Gold Dragon's up to? Hiding. I think he's going to be like... I personally think he's going to be like scarred with PTSD. That's something that I've always believed. Like, it would make sense of why he's like so hidden that Merciful has never even seen him. He's never met him. The only dragon... Look, I gotta begin. The only dragon god I would assume that has met Viernes is Selene. I assume Selene has met him. Like, she has the knowledge, the network to find out where he is, and the full ability just to teleport and go to where he is and talk to him. Excited about Jujutsu Kaisen movie announcement? Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, there's Yuta seeing everything about Volume 0. I'm super hyped for it. It's got Geto, it's got my boy Yuta. I'm going to get to see some of the crazier parts and aspects of the series. I thought it was just kind of funny that they're doing that as the movie, because... I've made jokes before about Yuji really not feeling like the main character of his own series a lot, and it's like he's not even going to be in the first movie. Because we made comments about that about the Black Clover movie. Is in the Black Clover movie, it was like people talking about like if it was a flashback movie, like Josuke was talking about that, if it was like on Julius or like stuff with the Grey Deer and whatnot. But I'm like, you have to have the main cast in their first movie. I could see it with a different movie doing a flashback movie, but it's like having the main characters obviously be in the first movie it just feels like it's got to be a thing. Especially because they're, Asta, Noelle are on top of being main cast members. They are some of the most popular characters in the series. So it'd be very strange if they didn't have, like if they weren't in the movie. Tartarus, Spring 12, Grand Magic Games, rest of them. I would like my personal grab is like I would say Tartarus for complete arcs, Tartarus at the top, and then I would put Sirius Island and Alvarez around level with each other. Cause the thing about like Sirius Island, I think is a better overall arc, but Alvarez has it has stuff with like everything going on with like Godshield stuff with Levy. You get like Gray's fighting against Invul, just getting to be this dominating force. That was super hype. Irene's backstory, you get Zareth's whole finish. Like it was super hype. And then I count the anime for what they did with the Aknologia. I was very happy what they did with Aknologia's character. So I mean that's another thing, just a big plus in general. Do a video for Eden Zero, and I'll at least review the first episode. I'll at least review the first episode, because like the thing, obviously, like for me doing episode reviews, it's like I don't show my face in the video, so I don't have the whole reaction aspect to it. And I already read the manga, so, like, I know what's going to happen. So it's mostly going to be me talking about, like, you know, parts I really like seeing animated and, like, how something might have been better performed in the anime, or maybe there's a part that doesn't look as good. Who knows how exactly it'll go, but I'm like, it's mostly going to be more of talking about the animes, like, the adaptations and how well I like certain scenes and whatnot. Talking about Polaris, the song was Polaris. Is that the new My Hero song? I thought that was the old one because I vaguely remember an opening with that name. Do you think we'll get a reappearance of Acnologia 100 Years Ago? We'll definitely get one in Natsu's beta heaven next time he goes there. But like I don't know. I'm very on the fence, and I ran a poll on Twitter of like if people would be like, as long as it made sense, would you be okay with Acnologia coming back? Like it was like, I think it was like 46 yes and like 54 no. So it's very on the fence, and I am right on that fence of like, I want him to stay dead, but at the same time, I would love to see Acnologia come back and do stuff. I think the best way to do it, like see more Acnologia, is through flashbacks. Like maybe if we got like a flashback spin-off of Acnologia, Acnologia's rise to power and stuff, maybe just get to see some fights or some flashbacks of like when he fought Alderaan. Other than that, though, it's just like him staying dead is important, I think. But at the same time, like if Mishima could work into it, because we don't know exactly what Eleftheria is doing. I personally think that weird mural is like a portal of something, and like we haven't really done anything with the afterlife in Fairy Tail, but we know it's a thing. And like, what if he's trying to connect it? I don't really know. That's just like some weird, wild theories I've had. But it'll really just depend on where it kind of leads to. Because the thing about like Acnologia, like I've thought about that before, of like Acnologia coming back, and like, if I got to bring back one character, though, I'd bring back August. I would 100%. Like, Acnologia dying was needed. Versus August, where August could have been defeated, and then he could have kept being here, like, after Zeref and Mavis were gone, because, like, at the end of it, at the base root of it, obviously he was loyal to Zeref and stuff, but he was a reasonable and normal guy. We know that from Brandish. Like, he would talk to Brandish. Like, grew up knowing him and, you know, called him grandpa and stuff. So, clearly they had a good relationship. And we even saw, like, some moments between them that was nice. But, like, I would have loved it so bad of August. Like, he didn't need to die. It was a shame that he got killed off. I think Mishima just knew he had to get him out of the way. And the only way... Like, otherwise, you'd have to keep him around. You'd have this absurdly broken super wizard in the world who, outside of the dragon gods, can stomp almost anybody. Like he is broken. He's absurd. But at the same time, August was so cool. I loved a lot of August's lines and like just his general behavior and his panels. It was a shame he died. Like with Mard Gear, like the only way I would change it for Mard Gear is if maybe Zeref made him one of the Spriggan 12, powered him up and made him like, put him in that spot, take God Serena out and not have God Serena betray. Maybe kill off God Serena after he trains Dragon Slayer. I wish God Serena's character was different. Only from the standpoint of like what else you could have done with him, because he had a ton of different directions his character could work really well. I was fine at the end of it with him, obviously being an Acnologia hype tool, because him challenging Acnologia and dying was 100% logical in his character, obviously that we saw what he wanted to do. And on top of that, him dying to Acnologia, like, that was going to happen. Acnologia isn't going to let him live. Is there a far better in character than Acnologia? Oh, 100%. Yeah. I'd say Acnologia, like, character-wise, after seeing his backstory, and he has a ton of parallels to Natsu, and, like, Natsu's whole story with Igneel is very much the opposite of what happened between the Doctor and the original Acnologia. I'd give Acnologia, like, somewhere around, like, a solid 8.5 in backstory. I love his general vibe in the series. I still gotta do my Acnologia video. I want to do it in a way that almost feels like a documentary, like you're talking about, like, if you did a documentary on Bigfoot. Like, Acnologia, I would really want to do it like, if I exist in the Fairy Tail world and I'm talking about this ancient creature from legend and whatnot, or this apocalypse dragon. But Zeref is a solid 10, man. Come on. Zeref is personally, I would say, Mishima's best character. Like, Zeref is amazing. Zorax, obviously, genocide is bad. Do you think Fairy Tail is, world building is better without the many dragons that Acnologia killed? What do you mean? Oh, the world is better without all the dragons? Yeah, because, like, most of the dragons were anti-human. So, if Acnologia hadn't done that, the dragons would still be around killing humans, like, at any point they wanted. That's the thing about, like, the whole setup between them. Is, like, Acnologia, the three most important characters in the series, I'm not counting Rom, Zareth, Irene, and Acnologia. You take any of them out of the story, and it breaks the whole story. So if you take Irene out, the Acnologia doesn't happen. You take Acnologia out, dragons never go near extinct, and they continue to rule the planet, because before dragon slaying magic, the side that was pro-humans was losing. Let's see, do a video on what if Asta being Natsu Lucy's son? I don't know about that. That'd be kind of... I don't know if I want to do any, like, absurd, longer fan fiction like that. I would still want that crossover. I'd like them to meet. Nacht gets hit with a character development. I've really grown to like Nacht. Like, Nacht's got solid characters, like, backstory. He's got a good couple chunks of development already. You don't count backstory development, where it's like, character development progression is mostly in the normal timeline. Like, his backstory, great. I love his backstory. He's got some good character development and progression already. I really like his presence in the story, what he's just been doing in general. His powers are really cool. Like, just his general displays have been fun. I really liked Nacht across the board. I'd be shocked if the new My Hero opening was good. It's a joint training arc with the OP was gonna be mad. I mean, you got a point. That arc is very not hype. It's unfortunate. I like the first two matches. The first match when you had that was like when you had like the Bigfoot guy and it was Sue and stuff. That one was good. I like that one. The thing about that arc in general that really bothers me is you had all this side character progression and development of like their abilities and whatnot, and then in the arc where the villains were going crazy, we didn't really see them. So unless we get way more of them now that the villains are, running loose all over the place, then it's just going to feel pointless. And that's one of the things I'm not a huge fan of My Hero's side characters, is he'll randomly do stuff like that with them and then do nothing with them following. It'd be like if we got like the stuff about Max training with Agil on getting stronger and whatnot, and then we didn't see him do anything with that. I think Asta's purpose for growth of this character involves growing the lives he's touched. Yeah, 100%. He's the main character. He's got to be doing that. So Rax, whose plan is more messed up? Zareth wiping out the timeline and go back to kill Acnologia, or Aaron with his genocide? Zareth's ultimately was for the greater good, but that came down to a battle of ideals. Like, Natsu didn't see it that way, because Zareth wanted to go back, undo and becoming immortal, take out Acnologia, fix any problems that were caused because of him. His way was like if you were looking at it on paper, whereas with Natsu, he was looking at more of, that's going to mess with everyone's lives that already exist. You don't know who's going to, because when you mess with stuff in the past, obviously that's going to affect the future. The whole butterfly effect. Who knows who's going to not even be born from the whole process of changes in the story. So if you could easily have Zareth not doing everything that would lead to the Eclipse plan. Maybe Anna maybe something happens to Anna and Lucy's never born. Maybe she decides, she doesn't need to, continue her lineage because she's not going to have the Heartphilias continue their whole job of the Eclipse plan, or the Dragon Slaying plan involving the Eclipse Gate, later Eclipse plan. I had to fix that because I was like, I'm giving the wrong naming of it, and it would bother me later if I realized it and didn't realize it at the time. But like that could lead to Fairy Tail Guild not existing, multiple of the main cast members never meeting each other. Like he's looking at it more from the standpoint of like, what about the characters now that are trying just to live their lives and do things and go forward? Because that's the big thing about like Natsu that he got from Ignil, and like all the different experiences in his life is, collectively set him in this mindset. It's like, even if you're in a bad spot, you got pain in the past, you're living in a bad spot now, the future is always interchanging, the future is malleable, so you gotta keep living for what's next and try and make the next thing better. Like it really is like a heavy thing between them. Whereas like Eren, I like where Eren's crazy character goes from like this angry, loud, like, I want to kill all the Titans dude to just psycho genocide world dude. But at the same time, I don't like how much of a jump he went. Like him and Zeke, they both went to this far end solution. They both went right to the very end of like their ideas. It'd be like if Sasuke, like when you look at all the stuff Sasuke, like his mindset changes and like his goals and stuff, if he went from like near the start all the way until like where he's at, where it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna take all the tailed beasts and pretty much become like the villain that the world has to live united under and stuff. it's weird when you get to that point. I mean, granted, like, he just said screw it. Like, he believes that was, like, doing the ultimate option was the only thing he could do. But his is way more evil from the standpoint of you aren't thinking about all the good people. Like, because the thing about all the bad people in the world, it's the same thing of like, real world. You're going to have horrible people and you're going to have good people. But he's just saying screw them all. And I mean, that's not the way to go. My opening 3 is still the best one. That's like the weird disco sounding one. I like that one. Is it? I think that's the 3rd one. It might be the 4th one. I'm not really sure. The one that I like is the 4th one. Oh, no. The one I like is the one that is like this weird disco-y sounding. It sounds a little auto-tuned. Always like that one. Black Clover movie. What do you think the Black Clover movie is going to be about? It really depends. My answer to that is going to really depend on whether it's canon or not. Like, whether it's canon is going to depend. Because if it's non-canon, it could be about anything. Or if it's canon, we have to figure out where it would fit into the story. I want to eat healthy. He brings up Little Caesars. I saw that pretzel pizza. I kind of want to get some of that at some point. I like Little Caesars. They're like the McDonald's of pizza. You know, they're not trying to be super top notch. They're just like, hey, you want some fairly priced pizza that tastes good? You know, go to Little Caesars. Which Eden Zero merch would you want to get? I would love a model ship of the Eden Zero. I think that is like the ultimate thing for them. It'd be like, you know, it'd be like if you got one of the guilds, Fairy Tail, like maybe like a replica of the guild. But I mean, that's not the same thing. Whereas like the Eden Zero ship, it's be like in Bleach having like an iconic sword, like somebody's Shikai. It's just one of those things. Or like in One Piece, like if you had the Going Merry and Thousand Sunny. I was forgetting the names. You know, it's just like one of those iconic pieces. Because I was thinking mascots, like if you had like some Pino replica, but I think the Eden Zero ship would be so much cooler. Top 3 baddies in Fairy Tail. I mean, Mira, Erza, and Minerva are all nice, but I mean, Celine is way up there. I mean, she's not only like super cool, she's a dragon. She's like, her human form is like 7 feet tall. Her ass is wider than her shoulders. I mean, she's a piece, and she's crazy. So I mean, that's another plus to put on there. Celine just across the board hits like all my check marks. Let's see. Black Clover, what's up, Josuke? How's it going? How are you doing? We mentioned a little bit earlier. Have you been today? I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I want to talk to you guys about the. Oh, actually, I don't want to go too much into it because Josuke doesn't read the unofficials. He looks at panels. He doesn't read the unofficials. He doesn't look at a lot of the text. I don't think he really ever. I think he very rarely looks at any text stuff. So I don't want to go into much of the chapter. I don't want to ruin anything for him. But I am looking forward to talking about it tomorrow because I want to get your opinions on some of the stuff in the chapter itself. We have some crazy stuff that's going to be fun to go over. I found out the lore of why whenever Josuke's on his phone, whenever he if my name is in all caps, his phone does that automatically. So I know right now he's on his phone. Let me see. Man, I'm a good chunk behind. Let me speed through some of these comments. I'm gonna try real hard to blitz through some because I'm a good chunk behind. I'm not doing Natsu versus Goku. Let me see. Dragon Quest 2020 is going to be beyond the 1991 anime. I would assume so. Blondie power up makes sense that that superior women do too. Erza should get a new armor. I'm hoping Erza's is going to be like fused armors, and Wendy's is going to be a little odd. I'm hoping Wendy gets her flight that she had when Irene was in her body, and then like whatever after that is going to be crazy. Who was spamming 23.3 B views? What was that guy doing? I'm scrolling up because I scrolled way down by accident, and I'm gonna try and power through these. I never watched Code Lyoko Gene. Let's see the stuff and wait. So what's this stuff in relation to what's happening in Shonen Jump? Oh, they're axing fandoms here, and we don't know why. Because it like 2 volumes had 100,000 copies sold, so it's like why are they canceling it? Actually, you have a timeline video. I am planning a timeline video for Fairy Tail. I need to. At some point, I need to sit down and just jot down notes of points in time. Don't worry. I got Erza, Yukino, and Levi. Oh, always solid picks. Do you think of the villain Code? Wait, Code? Oh, he's kind of cool. I like him so far. I really want to know where he's going. Ro, you mean? Of course she is. Wait, I don't know what. Oh, he's talking to Kenny. Oh, no. What do you mean Savage Kenny? Let's see. Otsutsuki's Wasted Potential. Oh, the Urashiki? Which one is that? Was that the one that was hanging out with, or is that the anime one? I don't know them all by name. You know, Tama from One Piece beat Akinoye by making him eat it. I mean, she's not going to even get close to him. But I mean, he's not... I'd assume it wouldn't work the same. I mean, because dragons are different than regular animals. But I mean, at the same time, like, he yells and she dies. What abilities do you think we see with Selene power to control over the moon? It's kind of hard because, like, her cross-dimensional thing is so weird to be related to it in general. But I'm hoping that she has something kind of like fairy glitter. Maybe we see, like, heavenly body type spells, like she's messing with, like, constellations or, like, pulling meteors in from space or something. Or Gagmon get given treatment in shonen. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with them, Yoshi, dude. It's so weird. I'm really hoping there's some form of explanation of what happened with Phantom Seer. What domain expansion look like for each member of Fairy Tail? Just imagine their elements. Just imagine, like, the general elements. That fan art of Lucy that I posted the other day, like, that's probably Lucy's just really cool space. Like, when she first used autometry on the anime is probably how I would assume hers looks. Let's see. Arachne's tripping. Must be, I don't know what that is. Get rid of Moscow? No way, dude. He's funny. I bet Selene control the water since the moon controls society. That would be pretty cool, too, actually. If it's just one of those, like, by proxy powers that she can just do. Or maybe, like, gravity manipulation, because it's, you know, space gravity. I don't know. I want to see Shura fight the Shining Stars. Really want to see Ray's power-wise. I mean, he should have no problem beating them. Other than Senku, hair, Dr. Stone would be good if live action sent. I mean, Senku's hair, like, if you just kind of, like, scaled it down a little bit, didn't make it as big, it'd probably look just fine. Sister is Mirror Jane in terms of white hair. I mean, that's about it, though. Thickest girl, wait, what is this? Thickest girl in Fairy Tail, Irene, Alter, Demaria, Kyoka, Minerva, Sayla. Oh, you gotta have Selene in there, man. Power of scaling after this chapter, but Clover go through the roof, especially if the weakest skill devils could burn or freeze concepts. I mean, they're still, like, the biggest characters. Like, these devils are the top of the verse at the moment. We don't know if there's anything beyond the Qualified devils. But definitely, like, the big new hacks. Let's see. Peter Levy. Oh, wait, that's Levy is pretty thick for, like, a petite girl. Which is Bisca. I mean, colored hair, man, it's not the same thing. Let's see. Well, I'm just scrolling past. Luckily, a good chunk of this is that 26 3B dude. Hermit Best Girl. What is that guy? What was he spamming? I just saw his Mr. Krabs picture. Lucy's doing better than Gray right now. I mean, that's because Gray hasn't gotten his advanced magic moment yet. He's still getting there. I guess I really like Lucy, so I have a bias. Oh, you don't really like Lucy? Why do you like Lucy, Gene? She's great. Lucy is just like, she's weak at the start. She's not able to do a whole lot, so she has a lot of those damsel in distress moments, but it's really, you see her progression, I think, really starts to ride the train for her that you don't get as much for the other characters. Because Lucy at the start of the series is a beginner. When she begins, she can't even close the gates of her spirits. Like, when she summons them, they leave whenever they feel like it. Either like she runs out of magic or they leave. She can't force it. That was one thing she gained in Galuna Island. I really want a Gray moment. It's been so overdue. Yeah, Gray's been focused more on his character, but I can't wait to get Gray's advanced magic. Gray's being held back because he hopefully has a huge flex in the future. I think so too. Lucy's probably my favorite with Mira. And Lucy's a catch, man. Rex, be honest. Do you think people hate Fairy Tail despite so-called power friendship? Question was, wait. Oh, I mean, it's the same thing of what people hate on stuff like Black Clover, man. It becomes clout heavy to do it. Like, a lot of people do it because it's popular. And there's also a lot of stuff from, like, unofficials. Like, one of the things I still see people bring up is, like, oh, Erza could break the rules of magic when they're not Kagami, which is something that the unofficials added when it came out. When that chapter dropped, that was something they just put in there. It's kind of like there's a fan translation for a Seven Deadly Sins chapter when Ominous Nebula was first used by Zeldris, where they said he's, like, faster than light. That didn't happen at all. And so a lot of people will think that's the case because they never looked at the officials. Like, it's not even a Japanese text on either of theirs. Like, there's nothing in there about Erza breaking the rules of magic. That's just something they just decided to throw in there for who knows what reason. Let's see. A better detailed ice makes better. No, he's got to get something way crazier, man. He's got to get some crazy hacks. After what Lucy just did, like, Gray's got to have something ridiculous. Absolute Zero for Gray. That'd be cool. I'd love that, too. Absolute Zero, like, raw out, absurd hacks, all stop. The Absolute Zero dropping on somebody. I think it'd be wonderful the way they wrote Zeref and Mavis or Baxter. It was really sad, man. They're like Romeo and Juliet. But on the enemy sides, like, for real, and there's just this unfortunate gap that they can never cross because of Monk Straw. It's not to the power to move through time. He can't be affected through time-based abilities the same way. Like, if you stop time, Natsu's still going. Zeref made him to counter him. So anything that Zeref can do, Natsu has a way to deal with it, which includes Zeref's time stop. Let's see, I kind of want Gray's ice armor. I would love if Gray's devil form progressed. Like, I love it. I've been thinking forever. You give him one of those kind of, like, twisted, like, some crazy curved horn, and then have icicles on it or something. That'd be sick. I want that so bad. Like, I don't need, like, some full devil Gray form, but, man, if I can get a horn like that with some icicles on it, I'd be more than happy. But you get the upper hand on Brandish, you're stronger. Yeah, Brandish is one of the examples of it being a raw power-based hacks. Like, if you're just raw stronger than her, then you can resist Command T being affected on you. But she obviously can still use it on herself and other objects. Let's see. If Gray made a giant ice devil like Delior, or his ice devil form looked like Delior, that would be so cool, dude. I would love it if his ice horns looked like Deliora's. And it's like Gray is taking the form of the devil, that obviously that relates to it most in his story. Next is Rax the waifu. I don't know if I need a Rax the waifu in here. How do you think the moon destroying feats is Selene? See, the thing is, they absolutely have to take out the moon to fight Selene. Selene, the only other way that they could deal with Selene otherwise, in general, is if Lucy develops a way to close Selene's portals. Because at any point otherwise, no matter what happens, Selene can teleport them or herself. Like, say, like, they fight Selene, and then Selene is about to lose. She can teleport herself away. Teleport them away. Teleport them to Edelus. She can go to Edelus and fight them there, where they have no magic. And even if she doesn't have her magic power, she still has all her dragon abilities. I think, let's see. If Natsu and Elantir can mix Lightning, Flame, Fire, Drinking mode. I mean, that'd be cool, but, like, I want to see just raw fire improvements. Natsu's forms all getting advanced, too, would be outright really badass. I wish Wendy was kind enough to enchant Lucy's clothes to never get destroyed again. How would she do that? You have, like, instead of destroying, maybe, like, self-repairing. I mean, Lucy doesn't really need to worry about that now, though, because, like, if Lucy's alpha gets destroyed, she just puts on one of her other Stardust mixes, which are magic-based, so it's like they should regenerate with magic. I said before, Jason, fan service filters out a lot of toxic people. And I've been very serious about that, and a lot of people don't believe me. But like when you have all these other big series, the ones that always have the toxic fan bases are the ones that don't really have fan service, or the ones that have fan service don't do that. Good example, Fire Force. Fire Force's fandom, boomed up with the anime, and the manga sales are doing great. I don't see a lot of Fire Force on the anime, but like or on the timeline and stuff. But like I don't have any like big Fire Force stands that I talk to, but that's just because I haven't met any of them. I think Josuke is probably the biggest Fire Force fan that I know. But like Fire Force, like when is the last time you ever heard have you actually ever heard of any Fire Force fans being toxic? They're not, because for some reason the fan service loving people they don't have that attitude, man. After Taurus, it felt like they started to compare Natsu and Gray a lot more. Yes, they have a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of it also has to do with how they were both trying to follow up in the footsteps of their father. Natsu, going to sacrifice himself against Zeref, as well as Gray just letting like that whole demon hunting side of him try and take over, similar to what Silver was doing, and then in the end, getting ready to sacrifice himself for the to atone for his crimes that he did. Because that's what, that was the whole thing that Silver was up to, and why Silver wanted Gray to kill him. Highly doubt Sting and Rogue being brought to Elantir, not really a purpose. No, I mean, adding 2 powerful new Dragon Slayers in the fight against Selene, what do you mean? But on top of that, Selene can do whatever she wants. You have to keep in mind. At any point, Selene can just grab them and throw them in there. And on top of that, Selene can bring them in and have them, like, turn and mind controlled and throw them at the main cast on top of that. Kenny, wait, this is not a me, it's a Kenny, not a me. Team ranking, not, I would say about that, but like Natsu, or Erza and Gray are like at a weird interchangeable point, because I still think Gray is more powerful, but Gray hasn't shown anything new and crazy in this arc. But I mean, like, Erza has like her dragon slaying sword and stuff. I don't think her dual sword she used against Laxus would really do much to Gray, but I mean, like, her dragon slaying sword is still something really big, and the fact she could fight almost to the point of beating Laxus is huge. Like, that's a big jump for her. Do you think Xenolith will make an appearance in the war? I assume so. But I think he might pop up, but I kind of don't want him to. But he's about to enter his maintenance, so I don't know if he's gonna show up. What's Iggy's minions gonna be like? Same with Viernes. Iggy's, I feel like, will all be like, I assume his place is gonna be like an arena, like a Coliseum, because he obviously loves fighting so much. So probably like a bunch of cool fighters. Viernes is a mystery. It'd be cool if Suzaku joined Fairy Tail to defeat Celine. I think they're going to team up 100%. Ignia should be the final boss. I think there's going to be a boss beyond them, and I think Ignia is going to end up... Like, I fully believe Celine is going to get killed. It's just unfortunate. I think... Unfortunate for me, because obviously I stand Celine, but, like, Ignia, I'm hoping Ignia doesn't die. If Suzaku really is a Blood Dragon Slayer, he 100% took that from Demon Slayer. No, he didn't. Stop. But no clue what a real White Wizard is in God Angstrom. I think the White Wizard is Eleftheria. Because Eleftheria is old enough to be the White Wizard. And he's like a white dragon. Well, he's a law dragon, but he's white colored, and it would make sense in there. I think it's not too stronger than Gray, but if Gray is Demon Slaying magic, no, he like the Demon Slaying boost, like his whole Devil Slaying perk lets him mess with devils and demons above him, but it doesn't mean that he can automatically defeat them. Like we saw, like Natsu was just taking straight hits, and he was still going. Do you think the power scaling will be after the Spade arc? It really just depends how long this arc goes and what Tabata has planned beyond this, and like if he does more beyond this. Because right now, Lucifaro and like the 3 devils down at the bottom are like the biggest force in Black Clover. So we don't know if there's anything beyond them. Like we thought the elves were obviously like, you know, some of the bigger people, but we knew that, you know, devils and stuff, you know, hinted at, you know, we had devil weapons for us in name, and then Zagrid, we found out, you know, the underworld and stuff. So with them, we just have to wait and figure out like if there's anything beyond them. I'm just not a fan of Odin's backstory, Guillotine. I just didn't like how... I thought it was so dumb how he believed Orochi in general after Orochi just tells him the shit to his face. And the thing that really bothered me is like he got weaker over 5 years and still clapped Kaido. So it tells me if he just ignored listening to them the 5 years prior to him just kind of doing all that dancing, and the second that barrier dropped, he just claps them both and just takes out everyone there. None of like the downsides to what happened to Wano would have happened if he just decided, no, I'm not gonna listen to this psycho ass midget dude who says he's a great liar and he wants to destroy the country and stuff. Odin's dance was Chadley, not dumb by any means. It's more of like his dumb thinking. I'm just not a fan of it. It just bothered me. I posted the question earlier, but I don't think you know. Is there a Black Clover X Fairy Tail crossover audio drama being made by somebody? I don't think so. I would definitely promote a fan. I would want more of like a fan chapter of crossover rather than like audio thing. Jordy would pick One Piece story. I mean, yeah, One Piece has freaking way more fans. That's just the thing right there. Hey, you can't say, oh, they're gonna pick more. But like, yeah, they have a way bigger fan base. I'm telling you my opinion. Also, do you think of Black Clover X Fairy Tail cards in Humanity game stream? Is there one? I don't think so. I would play one. I'd probably play one with some people if they made one. RTL with the one. He's doing a good job. I always appreciate any donations, but I don't know if I want to do. I don't know if I want to do any voiceovers for anything. I'm not a voice actor. You've never heard me yelling? If I do any game streams, you might hear me yell. The games that make me the angriest, when I used to play League of Legends, that game just pissed me off because people in it were so aggravating. And if I would love to. I've always mentioned that not the League of Legends one. The other game that makes me really angry all the time is Minecraft. Like I've said it before. Like if I ever was a video game YouTuber, I'd pick Minecraft as my game because there's so much to do and it's so easy just to spend like hours playing it and not notice. But that game can make me angry. Like that, such a fast way to piss me off. It's like something going wrong in Minecraft is a massive instant rage trigger for me. Sometimes I'll just get, if I'm playing games on I'll yell, but I don't get like actually furious. When I play bad stuff happens with Minecraft, I get furious. I don't know what it's about that game. Ichigo's more complex than I thought. I'll be debating Clyde next. I mean, Ichigo's always been a complex character with this whole mindset of like how he views himself. Edelus is fine. Edelus is a fine arc. The problem is Edelus is just like it felt like an anime only arc. We're starting a position to hear Raxiel for sure. At some point, maybe if I do like a yelling or a video game stream, I'll yell. You can voice Lotus or Rades. If I voice Lotus, I'd have to be stoned the whole time. Can you make Lotus a stoner? Faith, are you still here? Is he still in the chat? If you're still here in the chat, make Lotus a stoner. I'll message you later if you're not here. Let's see. Wendy and Jalal look like blue-haired siblings. Not really. Just having the same hair color doesn't mean characters look similar. Oh, you have a devil by the name of Eve in BCE? Why do we have a devil with the name of Eve? Is there a devil named Eve in demonology? I don't think so. At least, I don't know all of them, so I can't say. Gene, if it's really good. Oh, not at me. Wait, what's... Wait, I had Clyde and Seth, the programmer, in the chat. That's good. Did they subscribe? Did you tell them to subscribe to your channel, though? You have to get them to start. You should have used it to try and get them to start pushing Elusive Samurai. I've been really upset that RT hasn't been pushing the Elusive Samurai agenda. I figured he would do that, like I've been pushing the Build King agenda. Gene, you think every YouTuber is famous? Or when he looks a mix between Erza and Chala? Not really. I'm gonna joke about Seth thinking Goku beat Superman, and both of them have pissed at me. He probably does think that Goku can beat Superman. Apparently Seth program has bad takes. I am not a fan of how he looks at power scaling. I still remember when he was trying to say that Mirio was faster than light because he was like trying to say that the way that his quirk worked was quantum tunneling, which is like is such a reach, it's ridiculous. Like, I'll never understand like how he possibly tried to jump to that and didn't think it was a reach. He's like trying to put like All Might at like faster than light country level. I'm like, come on, man. Like, I can see some of, like, I could see, like, a full power, all-out Prime All Might potentially being country level, but, like, faster than light, no. I mean, like, we see characters in My Hero still get hit by bullets, man. Let's see. Currently, yeah, Wendy beats the Shining Stars. Yeah, she would, you take out Irene's power and she still stomps the Shining Stars. What would they possibly do to Wendy? She scales above them, she's a better fighter. Like, what is Witch gonna do? Throw elements at her? They're plain elements. What is Sister gonna do? Heal her? She's not gonna do anything. And Wendy could also just cancel it. What would Homura do? Homura's gonna get clapped by Wendy. What would Hermit do? Just programming stuff at her? Good luck. It's not gonna do anything. You're actually seeing popular YouTube who don't show their face and reactions. You should go. I mean, maybe it would just be me freaking out about stuff. I'll have to compromise. I'll have to become one of those, what are they called? The VTubers? I'll have to create a cute anime girl virtual setup for me. I'll have it like a moth dragon girl. She's, I don't know, I have to think of a personality. I'll put it on the back burner. Actually, don't. Somebody's gonna try and suggest that for real. Do you think Haruka Minkai fits Natsu versus Acnologia or Acnologia versus Alderaan better? I don't think it fits either of them. Let's see, in the teaser for the next My Hero movie. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing in there that really had me hyped. It just looks, I mean, it's a My Hero movie. I mean, I'm not too hyped about it. What's up, Flash? I see you in there, Zeb Nolan. How are you? Hello. Hello. How's it going, my friend? Planning to read the manga after Season 5 ends. I'm just too impatient. That's good. I'd rather Acnologia not come back and ruin the thread of the other dragon. Oh, no, it's not that it ruined the thread of the other Dragon Gods. If he came back, you'd have the potential Ignia versus Acnologia to be hyped, but, like, I just don't really know if I want Acnologia back, because, like, there's no redemption arc for Acnologia. I don't think Acnologia getting a redemption arc could really work. Like, you would have to give him, like, it would have to be twice as long as Jalal's. Like, not only, obviously, did he kill all these dragons, like, he was killing people and stuff, but, like, he was ready to just nuke reality. He was gonna just take out everything. Like, yes, it wouldn't really fit in if they just, forgave him and stuff. I don't really think so. I don't think he could come back. August, I think, could come back. How complex of a character Ichigo is? Ichigo's a complex guy, man. You gotta really look at, like, a lot of Ichigo's reasoning for a lot of the stuff that he sees himself as. Like, the whole hero aspect, the whole guardian thing, and, like, how he views himself, and how he has to save people. I was focused on the debate, but don't worry, I'll be pushing the Black Clover agenda. Oh, that's good. 100%. Yeah, August was done a little dirty. I personally think Mishima had to come down to choosing who he's going to focus on between August and Irene and Acnologia versus Zeref, and he chose the more important people. As unfortunate as the gods, the Dragon Gods are an Acnologia level anyway, pre-space between time. I agree with that. But Acnologia should still beat them 1v1 just from having a better, a massive power advantage, and just like how his Dragon Sling magic works. I kind of wish that Fairy Tail final season focused on beating Zeref. 100 Years Quest focused on beating Acnologia. Yeah, I mean, well, it couldn't have been 100 Years Quest beating Acnologia, because, like, the 100 Years Quest obviously has to do, like, a lot of these dragons that can come out and do stuff now because Acnologia is gone. I just wanted to be medical school help. Yeah, he started at being a doctor, ended up being like, fuck reality, I'm just gonna destroy everything. Like, whatever, this one, I want Acnologia to meet Natsu. I can't wait for him to talk in Beta Heaven. Acnologia's so bad character-wise. I mean, not really, because, like, the thing is, like, before, he was mostly just, like, this big powerful, destructive villain. He was like a serious Zero, bigger scale serious Zero. But then we got parts to his character and aspects to him, and it wasn't. You can't really say it like manga-wise because it's like more of like canon-wise. Because there was nothing bad about him in the manga. It's just we didn't really get to find out certain aspects about his character, but we had to wait for the anime for that. Whereas, like, if you had a character that just didn't make sense in the manga, it would be bad. Asta's gonna get multiple devils? I don't think so. I don't want that to happen. What's up, Rax? Oh, how's it going there, Josuke? It's the end. I don't know if you're still here. I have to like. I have my Streamlabs in my current spot, and then I have my normal YouTube one on my side. Caught up. I'll tell. I don't know if any of them are still here. Oh, I see Josuke was. Let's scroll up and chat a little bit. I see Josuke still here. I don't know if Faye's still here. Take my Stoner Lotus idea. Oh, what's up, Josuke? I'm hyped for the thing tomorrow. I'm hyped for the stream. I mean, I'm usually hyped for the stream. I'm always like the fun times over there. Who's he saying smells mid? I hope it's not me. Rax, your thoughts on about God, Serena? What do you? So it would really depend. So like the way that I would outright change God Serena, one, I would change his backstory. I would love to have something about God Serena and just having the 8 Lacrima. I would kind of make him almost like a Highlander type thing, where it's like maybe there's some form of secret society that's been trying to always have some super dragon slayer in order to fight Acrologia the day that they think it's time to fight him. And it's like you have 8, maybe you have like 8 different dragon slayers with Lacrima, and they have to kind of Highlander style kill each other, take the Lacrima, and eventually become the one with 8. And it's like you could continuously have that, and it'd be like maybe God Serena's saying is he's finally the one that's going to happen to him. So it's like I have to make up for all these dead children in the past, centuries of this practice. And then, Acrologia kills him would be such more of a middle finger to his character. It would have been so nice. It would have been way more satisfactory. But if I got to change, like outright change something in the story, I would have had Zareth take Margear, power up Margear become one of the Spriggan 12. God Serena gathers all of the main Dragon Slayers and then trains them and then sets them up for the fight of what's to come. Maybe trains them on Dragon Force and stuff. Maybe just tries to get them more powerful in general. Something kind of like maybe some form of a certain tactic that would help them get them prepared, or just like outright plain training. But that would be kind of the thing that I would love to have instead, and maybe God Serena could have been like one of the only forces to fight back against them. Because I think it would have been cool if it's like, oh yeah, we have God Serena, but it's like, yeah, they had 12 of him, and it's like they have at least one for sure solid fighter to go against them. And like we knew there were characters like going into Alvarez, it was like for sure we're gonna be able to 1v1 a Spriggan just based off of where they were in the story and what we know about them. Gildarts, Jalal, Laxus. But like it would have been cool if God Serena didn't betray Alvarez or Ishgal and stayed on their side. I saw Rick in the Crossover fanfic I'm reading. That's good. I don't read a lot of fanfictions though. If it was a manga fanfiction, I'd probably check it out. I'm not. Thank you, Gene. I'm not mid. I have a okay. Josuke's confirmed it's not me. I have a doctor's note. It says not mid. I was tested. The Street King of Black Clover's internet chat. He's got the title until somebody beats him in Black Clover Jeopardy. Class 20 is trash. Changed my mind. Most of them are pretty ass. Some of them are good, but it's like there's too many characters that are just there and don't really ever amount to anything. Fairy Tail's a good series for them to cross over. Do another series of scalings based on how great magic. Wait, the great magic in another worlds? So you can either nerf or boost. I mean, a crossover, you don't really care about power levels. Just make the characters somehow on equal grounds to each other. A crossover is more about the interactions rather than power level consistency in fights and stuff. I know who I know Josuke was talking about. He's trying to poke. He's poking at Faith. He likes to do that. He knows he likes to get under his skin. They got good banter. Who do you think should be vice captain if Asta becomes Black Bull's captain? People should. I would love Finral as vice captain, but I'm a Finral stan. I'm just gonna stop right at everybody else and say Finral, because it's not. Because if Noelle moves up, like as much as I like Nozel, but if Noelle was going to move up in rank, it would either have to be vice captain of the Silver Eagles, or if Nozel dies and she ends up taking, the captain spot. Those are the only ways I can see Noelle going up. I don't think she'll be vice captain of the Black Bulls, or, anywhere around, like, higher one. And it'd be kind of weird if it was, like, Asta's captain, Noelle is vice captain. I'm not against the idea, but I think it would fit better if she, like, if it came down to something like that and she would go to the Silver Eagle, or the Silver Eagles for the sake of her family and stuff. It'd be really weird, but I mean, like, that would be really interesting for her character. When class 1A could be Kawaki, none of them. Deku beats gone though. Oh yes, 100%. Let me see. Oh, I accidentally pulled all the way to the bottom. Where was I? I think I'm not that far off. Okay, I'm not that far off. Let me see. Shinkai killed his father because he was far more selfish and evil. Well, that's good. You know what I mean? Certain bad guys, man, you gotta kill. His feat of holding his own against strong characters like Delta Boro, especially Momoshiki. Yeah, he's got some way better characters than anyone of feats than anyone in My Hero. Movies are only canon if the author says so. So I mean, like, they have to fit into the story is one of the big things. Because, like, I know Strong World, it was, like, intended initially to be a manga arc by Oda, and I think there was some stuff about it potentially being canon, but it doesn't fit into the story at all. Like, it doesn't make sense to be in the timeline. He would have to retcon events, like if he just retcon like, oh, this happened between these two parts in the story, and then like says like, oh no, in actuality now he changes it so it's like there's a week or however much time it would need to be in the story like that to fit. Whereas like Mishima does that already, Thematic could do that. It really just depends. Like fitting canon is, you have to think of ahead for it is one of the things. So it has to make sense to be in the story. You can't just have, and not like the Seven Deadly Sins movie, the first one that made no sense to be canon. There was no possible way it could have been canon. Wait, I don't know. Either Momoshiki, what are you talking about? I don't know what this one's at. Adult Gon noticed Deku? Oh, absolutely not. Deku has higher feats than Adult Gon. Adult Gon isn't that powerful. Like Hunter x Hunter does not have that big of feats. Bro, Adult Gon isn't even mountain level. I don't like the only character that has anywhere close to that in a feat is Miriam after he got powered back up, and it wasn't even a mountain; it was a plateau. Like it's big, but it's not as big as a mountain. Rax casually blitzing 30 people confirmed. I would be, if I had to pick my best stat, I would probably go more for like either raw offense or like maybe stamina durability. I don't know if I'd want to be speed-based. Her ass is wider than her shoulders, Rax 2021. I mean, I've been saying that since Celine showed up. Irene beats every My Hero character. I mean, yes, easy. Irene Wendy? I mean, Wendy by herself does. What do? She blitzes them and puts a tornado in their face. Recent episode Die Was Sad. Oh, is that for that Dragon Quest show? I haven't watched that yet. I'm going to probably watch it when it's finished. Wendy does solo My Hero. I mean, that's not even close. That's not even sad. Like, Wendy is very powerful. Wendy has kept up with Irene. Wendy has kept up with Irene in both combat and enchantments. Like, that's absurd. Put Irene, because that's one of the things, like, I always say about the whole Zoro versus Erza death battle of people. For one, I mean, like, Erza has better feats, but I mean, like, if you just sub them out, because we had that conversation when people were talking about, like, Luck versus Libe. It'd be like, well, who do you think is, it's more of a fight? Like, Luck or one-armed, no-power Asta? It'd be the same thing of, like, if you wanted to argue Erza versus Zoro, just swap them out. How do you think Zoro would do against Irene? He'd get nowhere. Irene would mess with him and then just take him out. Or just, like, make him a minion. Like, Irene, the fact that Wendy was able to keep up with Irene at all is so far beyond anything My Hero has. What's up, Sam Jace? Hello, what do you think? Who do you think, do you want in the Black Clover movie cast, personally? I hope Marileona and Soul. I don't know if Soul make it in there. Marileona might make it in there, because obviously she's very popular. I want Finral to be in there. Like, out of the characters, obviously, I'm a big fan of, like, I really am a big fan of, like, Zora and stuff. Like, Zora, I feel like, will be in there, just because, like, I think Tabata really likes him. Rades, as much as I like Rades, I don't see Rades being in the movie, but Finral is like one of those, Finral is that character that has a high possibility of being in any additional content, like any anime original arcs or any movies and stuff, just because he can easily just go places. Taking attack from Magnologia. Yeah, when he took hits from Magnologia, like, what would anyone in My Hero do? Shikir's good one going down in the next chapter, he did 0. I want to see what he can do. I really want to know what this cat dude can do. Rax can see Natsu leaving the main crew again for another training arc. I don't know if it'll be going, let me think, because the thing is, like, I don't think it would be going as long, but he could easily try and go do his own thing involving Igni at some point. I don't know if it'd be, like, another time skip, but it's always a possibility, just because, like, with Ignia is different from the other Dragon Gods, I think it needs to be a Natsu personal story. Phantom Seer got axed. I'm upset with that. I don't understand why. I didn't like that. Rax the Simper only for Celine. Gray should get Invol's True Ice abilities. Oh, he imitated him, so he knows how to do it. I would love to see him do it again. I just assume that like his Devil Slaying Ice should be superior to that already. For real. But at the same time, that to me is more like, for me that's more of an assumption, I feel, just because like he did do it, and he did it of like, he didn't get a temporary boost. Like, he didn't eat the ice and then get like a temporary power up. Like, he imitated with Ice Make, not his Devil Slaying. So like, Gray should be able to do it again just fine. We agree. Wendy beats everybody, my hero. What about Shelly? Then she does fine too. Like, she was helping him keep up with frickin' Demaria. Anybody like in that level has no problem. I was listening to a YouTuber who was bashing Friends because of their because there was a chapter based solely on information and world building, not fan service. I hadn't subscribed. That's stupid. Some people are goofy, man. She lost her magic. I mean, yeah. If you're talking about, don't even post. Oh, accidentally bumped my cat. I'm sorry, Indor. You can come back over here. Sometimes they sleep next to my feet, and I don't notice when they show up. So if I move, I moved and accidentally bumped her, and she got spooked. Oh, my other cat just fell off my chair. They'll probably go play cat stuff instead. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if it's post third origin, surely. Then I mean, what does she do? Nothing. She has no powers. Godslayer is trash. Dragon Slayer is the best, strongest. I mean, yeah. Which magic is stronger, Dragon Slayer, God Slayer, Devil Slayer, Dragon Slayer? I mean, dragons are stronger than gods in Fairy Tail. For me, the only problem Fairy Tail, I think Mishima isn't great at finishing fights. The build-up is great, but it depends on so which fighter you have a problem with. The thing is, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to certain aspects in the story. Like, you have to understand stuff like Savage Dragon Fire. Upgrade to because the whole stuff about Flame of Savage Emotion. Like, that's the upgrade version of Natsu's emotional flame. Been in the series since the start. You have to understand how it works fundamentally. You know, his emotional state affects the temperature and potency of his flames. Natsu's flame's potency, and burning magic should also be affected by that. Natsu being able to burn time and his ability to withstand his own fire and adapt to fire wasn't able to keep up with it. And being able to affect time also means that he would have to theoretically get to Planck temperature, where the laws of physics cease to exist, and it's essentially infinite heat, which all align up to each other. There's a lot of stuff that, like, Mishima definitely, like, leaves stuff for fans to find out and to notice, and, like, assumes, like, stuff that they have to remember, like, stuff about, like, Erza's eye and whatnot, like, the fact that her eye one of her eyes being artificial makes eye-based abilities cut in half, or if she just closes her real eye, it doesn't affect her. So there's a lot of stuff that, like, he'll do that either he assumes people will pay enough attention to remember, or will be able to figure out themselves by paying attention to the story and piecing things together. Like, he doesn't do a lot of, like, outright just, like, characters going on for a long time explaining things, which would probably help a lot with certain parts in the story that people would complain about, but at the same time, I prefer the fact that I'm able to find stuff out by just remembering and paying attention to stuff, because it gives a lot of value to rereads and remembering, paying attention to aspects in the story. Obviously, like I said, Natsu's Flame of Emotion paying off, in large scale, way later in the story, near the end of the Alvarez arc, obviously is a big thing. If you don't remember that, then you wouldn't understand the whole stuff about Flames of Emotion. Like, when he says Flames of Savage Emotion, it would just confuse you. Do I play Minecraft? Do you have Minecraft Java? I don't. Whenever I play Minecraft, I always play like a modded version, because like the thing about Minecraft is the crazy thing is you can do, like, there's so many mods, you can do almost anything. And that's one of the things I really like about it. And I just like building stuff. I always have fun building like a base and whatnot. My idea for audio drama is like a fan fiction reading with voice acting. How would that even work? Powers should not be based on numbers. What do you mean though? Like, outright numbers? It depends. Whenever they introduce power levels by numbers is usually when power levels kind of get out of hand. Because, like, I mentioned that with 7 Only Sins. 7 Only Sins' power levels by numbers are so inconsistent. But their power levels by feats is very consistent. Like, when you look at, like, people like Galen and Gloxnia, blowing up, like, mountains and stuff. You look at people, like, above them, like, having some island-level feats. You look at the Demon King, being a tier above that with, like, being taken out by an attack that would have destroyed Britannia. Britannia's a small country. Like, I mean, you could get country level if they had like a big enough crater, but kind of that small country level to country level. And then obviously the thing above he's equal to the Supreme Goddess, the thing way above both of them, the Chaos thing, which is hyped at world level, like the planet level. And then you have 4 characters, the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse, that together are capable of defeating Arthur, also, are world level threats. Like, it makes sense. It's really, I just hope that Nakaba just ignores power, like the whole Eye of Dolor trying to give characters power levels thing. Just because it doesn't, it becomes more of a problem, I think, than anything. Like, if you took that out of the series, and Merlin, then you would have, like, way more of a consistent level of power and stuff that being operated in the series. Creating a Fairy Tale, Cards Against Humanity deck tomorrow? I might look at that then, and, I can show that to some of the other Black Clover guys, and we could probably try and do some. I think it'd be cool just to have, like, a really big anime one. If you just had a bunch of, like, all the big popular series, combine it into Cards Against Humanity game, that would probably be really fun. You think we'll get a new Fairy Tale movie? I hope so. I hate how absolutely overrated Nobara is on Twitter. People just like her because she combines, like, being that tough girl, but also, does her, like, her, she tries to be very feminine, being very girly at times. And, like, I like that too. Definitely overhyped. People are going to be really salty when we get to Shibuya. Let's see. Rex, how did you feel about the previous mission? I liked the last chapter. I wasn't as hyped. But, I mean, it was more of a build-up chapter. The next chapter is, obviously where that's going to go. I like Shion. I forget the brother's name. The cat dude with, he's got all the disguises and copies. I forget his name, but he's cool. But I'm interested in Shion. I really want to get to some more of, like, the bigger characters right now, though. But I understand, obviously, giving the other character spotlight is very important. We're getting all of, like, their blooming stuff. I really want to get to, like, seeing Kyochiro's and stuff. And, like, seeing more of Taiyo. And getting, like, to the main plot, what's going on with, like, their mother's corpse and stuff. Because that's where I am very hyped right now in general. Why did chat get so dry suddenly? I don't know. Probably because just, like, it's getting closer near the end. I mean, I've been going for a little over 2 hours. It's set, and plus, who was it earlier? Said that there was a Celtics game. Maybe some people probably went to go watch that. I mean, obviously, like, I don't know basketball, but I know that, obviously they're a very popular team. So probably some people watching that. Asta and Wendy versus Yuno and Lucy. I mean, I don't know. I'd give it to Lucy and Yuno, because, like, the thing about Lucy that's so overpowered now is the fact that she can have all these spirits, which includes Gemini. Gemini can turn into Wendy, and then then it's all these spirits plus Wendy against Wendy and Asta. Like she's so busted right now with, like, just the sheer level of capability she has. Like, having Wendy in her team is such a game changer, because, like, she's not only a fighter, but she also has all the support abilities and whatnot. Asta having multiple devils not only does against Asta not having no mana, it also makes Nacht less unique. Yeah, I don't want Asta to have multiple devils. The shorties beat Yuno and Lucy. I don't think so. Noara's cool in last episode. She does have a hype now, but I mean, she doesn't do anything until Shibuya. Like, that's one of the things that was brought up that is very true. What's up, Black Goku? How's it going? How are you doing today? I recommend War of Discoveries. I don't know what that is. I'll look into it. How far would Kawaki get in 100 Years Quest? I'd have to go back and look at some of Kawaki's abilities, because I know some of his feats, but, like, outside his... No, because he doesn't have karma anymore. I will definitely have to get back at that, because I have no idea what Kawaki can do currently, because he lost his karma, right? You think we can see Homura father somewhere down the line? I don't think it's important, but maybe. Like, it could easily be important. At the moment, I don't think there's anything about it. But, I mean, it could easily become something bigger, just because, there's always that realm of possibilities. I'm not caught up enough to answer that. I guess it stops at Wendy. The thing is, like, I said, I think he lost his karma, didn't he? They're running against Jigen. Yeah, I know. Opening doesn't mean anything. Yeah, I know, that's also true. Rex, how far do you think Natsu would get in Elder Scrolls? Doesn't Elder Scrolls have, like, freaking multiversal people and whatnot? And, like, cosmic beings and, like, lots of crazy stuff? I don't know much about Elder Scrolls. I never really played Elder Scrolls, because my brother got really into Elder Scrolls, so most of the time, like, I would be exposed to Elder Scrolls content. I was watching him play instead. My little brother was a big fan of that for a while. Rex, are you worried about Eden Zero's anime viewership because Netflix is saying, no, people will pirate it? What do you mean? Come on, man. You've been in this game long enough to know it. If people want to watch it and there's a wall that's preventing them, they're just going to say, fuck it, and go around the wall. I mean, there's always going to be people that are going to wait, But I mean, like, if it gets popular, people are gonna be jumping on it, especially if they start seeing clips on like Twitter and whatnot, and then it gets real hype. I had theory Naruto would leave the gang to attempt to fight Inge by himself. I think he is. I do think he is. Good stream racks. There's a lot of stuff done for Monday. Now I'm gonna pass out. That's good. I still gotta clean. I gotta clean, and then I'm gonna make some bread soon. I'm gonna make some more bread. I mentioned it earlier, but like I said earlier today, I had like no energy. I picked up a little bit of stuff. I've mostly kept my house pretty clean, but like right now it's pretty much random clutter, and then I gotta do some vacuuming. But for the most part, I've kept it pretty clean. Sometimes I just get, I lose track of stuff and I just get clutter, like dishes that I don't do, and then I gotta take some time just jumping on it. I either gotta get a maid or buy a wife. Let me see this. Let's see. All right, I'm out. Yeah, I'm getting close to the stream. It's been a little over 2 hours, and it looks like people are starting to pop out. Who's better first appearance, Hermit first appearance or Wendy? I mean, Hermit's had way more going on. Like Wendy's. I liked Wendy's payout more near the end, but Hermit's, I think, had a better focus, because Wendy's wasn't focused on her. Wendy's at the end, though. Wendy's at the end is one of my favorite reveals, because that was so crazy to think about. Like, just imagine, could you imagine, like, if suddenly all the people you had known for the last 7 years weren't real? That would be a mind fucking and a half. Tartarus versus the Black Bulls. And the Black Bull, I mean, the Black Bulls are strong. The thing is, like, you have obviously Asta, Yami, but I mean, like, Mard Gear is so dangerous, and the fact they use curses like completely screws over Asta. And you have people like Kyoka, you have people like Silver, like obviously like Silver counters Nacht. Guild King Minecraft mod. I'll make Gene my official Minecraft head of Minecraft business. Think of Graver Scotch will eventually become canon? Yeah, I think so. Unless one of them dies. I'll send you an example on Twitter. Oh, okay. Black Bulls take it over Tartarus, especially currently. I don't think so. The thing that really screws them over is the fact that Tartarus uses curses, which automatically hurts Asta. Silver, and then it automatically hurts Nacht. Mard Gear. The thing is, like, Yami is a very skilled fighter and like a good asset in hacks and stuff. But like, think about it. One Mard Gear can absorb light and shadows and dark magic and whatnot. But also on top of that, base him was toying with a bloodlusted celestial spirit king. Like Mard Gear's feats are really underlooked, because like he did that, but it's like he did that one-handed in base. Like Mard Gear is ridiculous. Patamon is going to have Goldramon as a new Mega Evolution. I have to look that up. I don't remember Goldramon, but I really want to catch up. Well, I want to watch all the new Digimon stuff. I haven't watched any Digimon since Digimon Cross, and I don't even remember a lot of that. I want to sit and do a Digimon full rewatch at some point. Start at the original, go all the way through it. I don't run into the unfortunate problem I have with Yu-Gi-Oh, where it's like they didn't dub the last season of GX, and I actually like GX's dub, and so like I can't buy the complete collection. I have the Yu-Gi-Oh original Yu-Gi-Oh complete collection box, but I don't have it for GX because GX doesn't do anything with the last one. I wish I could buy GX, like, complete GX subbed. I'd absolutely be fine with that, but, like, I don't have anywhere. I think the only place I know where to watch GX subbed is, like, on fan sites. Same thing with 5Ds. I don't think, because they didn't do 5Ds this last season, subbed either, or dubbed either. What do Asta's Orbs gonna do? I have no idea. That's the, we just gotta wait for that. Anduin is the son of Akatosh, God of Time, King of Gods, and the Elder Scrolls. Yeah, I know Elder Scrolls has some crazy high power stuff. I don't know a lot about it, but I know they get kind of crazy. Let's see, Tartarus has Hell's Core. Yeah, that's also a thing. If you don't take out... Hell's Core means that they're just going to keep coming back. It's like trying to fight Hades outside of his ship. Was Haxie's clapped by any Dragon Slayer? I don't know. I have no idea about that dude. What's up, Jason? How are you doing today? You showed up right near the end. Actually, no, you've been in here for a bit. I just don't think I looked at your name because of the Igneal picture. No, I haven't seen your pretty... I just scrolled up. I didn't see you earlier. Because I just skipped over some of the ones about these, about the Elder Scrolls ones. Not skipped over, I glossed them, because like, I don't know the names, so it's me just literally just reading characters I have no idea. Technically saying that Thum... Yeah, again, I don't know these ones. I'm just reading a bunch of names I don't know. Okay, Scale Celestial Spirit King with Lucy summoning. I really want to know how powerful he would be now if Lucy summoned him. Because Lucy, I gotta do some videos. I'm gonna do some videos on Lucy up and coming. I was gonna do one on Anna, do one on Layla, and then we'll do one on Lucy. But I think I'm just gonna combine them all three, because I think it would work better. Because like Anna and Layla, I don't think are as interesting by themselves, but I think they work really good in like hyping up Lucy. And on top of that, I think it would work better as a video. But like I'm gonna talk about, I'm gonna do a Lucy video soon. I got a Lucy video prepped up. I got a hybrid mode Dragon Slayer video prepped up, and I've got a Gajil video that I'm gonna do. It's not a character video; it's more of like a new form. I think Gajil might get, if I'm correct on like hybrid stuff on hybrid modes. But we'll talk about that soon. What would it take for Asta to surpass or defeat Mardgear? The thing about it's so difficult was like anti-magic doesn't do anything to Mardgear. Mardgear was like it was able just to completely parry Celestial Spirit King sword attacks one-handed in base. Like Asta swings a sword, Mardgear can literally just put his hand up and block it. Like Mardgear would have no problem. That's the unfortunate thing in terms of that cross is like Mardgear's and like the devil or the Aetherius demons are all curse users. They can use magic, but for the most part they're using curses and stuff. And on top of that, the thing about Mardgear, I wish we saw more of is him doing the whole like mental attack that he did on Warren. I wonder if like he could do that against people generally, or if it only is people who use telepathy. He at least could do that for sure on other people that if they're using telepathy. But I want to know if he could do that just generally, but I don't know if we'll see it. Anyway, I'm gonna end the stream. Let's see. What do you fight between Asta, Noelle, Vanessa against Mardgear? Absolutely no. Mardgear goes Aetherius. They're done. They don't have any of the advantages of anti-magic. Asta literally is just at that point, just a physical strong fighter swinging a big sword. What's Vanessa gonna do? He's gonna keep throwing briars and brambles through people's skulls. He's going to keep dropping attacks on him. He uses Allegory, and he just merges all of them inside of Pluto's Grim. And if he hits any of the Momentum Warriors, they're gone. But anyway, well, wait, I need to scout Celestial Spirit King. Is he over the god that Natsu one-shotted? So we don't know Celestial Spirit King by himself. We only know the version that Lucy had. I personally believe that the Celestial Spirit King is above Ikusa Tsunagi in general, but I also think the one from Tartarus is above him as well, or at least the one from Tartarus is at least around equal to him based off of their feats. But I personally think that Celestial Spirit King is stronger by himself from that version, whereas like Lucy summoned him now, I think he'd be the strongest he'd ever been, unless unless Anna summoned him at some point. Because Anna, I would believe is stronger than Lucy still currently, considering she was able to mess with the space between time, which is a concept of the universe. So we'll see. Anyway, other than that though, I'm gonna end the stream. Thanks everyone for showing up. We are at, we had pretty solid numbers, pretty good people here. Got super chats with some friendly people. I had some pretty regular conversations, but I mentioned the plan for streams. I'm going to try and stick to Saturdays. If something happens and there's a Saturday stream, unless it's something like I do like a stream on somebody else's channel, like I just join a stream, but I'm doing it for them instead. I'll try and reschedule. But other than that, it'll be 100 Years Quest chapter. So every other Tuesday and then every Saturday. But anyway, other than that though, thanks everyone for showing up. I'm going to look into some food. I might